Welcome everybody interested in doing Mafia runs. My name is Lembox, I'm a Mafia runner. And in this tutorial run, I want to give you an overview over the basic route and strategies used in a Mafia any percent speedrun. However, I would like to address one thing at the very beginning, is that if you want to run Mafia competitively, so basically go for the world record, for example, then you need to run Mafia on version 1.0. That means you have to own, you have to either own the free CD version of Mafia, that is basically 1.0 from the get-go, or you own the DVD version and then use the downgrade files I've uploaded on speedrun.com. You can find the link in the description. I will post it probably on the video as well. And basically downgrade your version of Mafia and then either use a mini image or a fixed exe you can find on gamecopyworld.com. If you happen to own the free CD version, you might be running into another problem, that it doesn't work under Windows 7 or higher. On Windows 7 and 8 there is an update which caused Safe Disk to be disabled. Safe Disk is basically the copy protection of Mafia. There is a certain command you can type into the command prompt in order to reactivate Safe Disk and basically run Mafia the same way you would have done on Windows XP and Windows 2000, whatever. If you happen to own Windows 10, then the best solution is just to use a crack. That is basically the truth. You could self-assign a SecuROM driver in the system, but do not care about it. Just use a crack from Game Copy World and you'll be set. So yeah, those are the things I'd like to address at first. Then one more thing, timing a Mafia speedrun is basically you use a timing program like LiveSplit, or if you're doing a real-time attack, you can just submit your run, your recording. You have to have a footage, that's the basic point, and we'll time it by looking at your footage basically. Or you use Pitbo script you can find on speedrun.com for LiveSplit, and with that script you can actually save time because it removes the loading time, because there are a lot of loading screens and you will find yourself losing 5 minutes if you're not going for in-game time. And in process of verification we will subtract lost time at the very last mission because of a certain bug with the cutscene trigger, and you will gain a lot of time if you're timing in-game time. Just one or two facts here at the very beginning, but let's now start to the main reason of this tutorial run. So first things first, I'd like to check my audio. I think that's alright. If not, I'm going to speak up a little bit. So here's my control scheme. I think you've noticed that there is a window or a little box on the top right hand corner of the screen showing you my inputs, and in order to understand what I'm actually typing, here is the control scheme I'm using. Basically the more important things that are not default are, for example, the crouch button. In my case it's a left control. It is displayed as control, but I'm always using the left one. There's no need to use the right one. Then jumping is space. Oops. Then reload is set to R, sniper mode is set to L. Then one thing I'd like to address as well is car controls, because there are two methods of controlling cars. One is called the primary setup, here by default the arrow keys, and then the secondary setup, which isn't even set by default. I have the numeric keys set up, and the difference you will see just in a couple of seconds when I will show you in a free ride session what the difference is between the primary setup and the secondary setup. It's quite a difference. So yeah, let's just go into some gameplay just to give you a brief overview. Let's see the daytime, and of course, what car else to pick than the Volleys pickup. Okay, let's just drive a little bit. So you can see right now, well, maybe I should change the camera. You can see that if I'm using arrow keys, it's, well, Tommy gradually steers. There is no hectic, just going slowly and surely. But if I'm going to use the num keys, basically my secondary setup, as you can see, he instantly switches from left to right. This has certain advantages, especially with the bolt thrower, since you can recover from spins by using this method. Not like, for example, with the arrow keys that I'm gonna use throughout the entire tutorial run. You will see me spin a lot. Not really like 10 times, but still a lot compared to other speedrunners. And that is the reason. I don't know why I'm using the handbrake. The Bold Ace doesn't have a handbrake, but that's only another fact. Okay, one more thing I'd like to address is the so-called rapid fire glitch. So basically I'm just gonna throw away the sawed-off shotgun. For the rapid fire glitch, you want to do a certain, let's say, position. You're crouching, stepping back, and you're alternating space and left mouse button. You can I think you can press it simultaneously as well. So for example, this should be your case. Looks a little bit weird, but you will see why. Let's take the Magnum. Magnum is really slow to shoot. You can try it for yourself. But now with this glitch, you can see I'm always even skipping the reloading animation. So let's use the Cold 1911 as well. As you can see, it works perfectly fine. Same thing, of course, with the Thompson. I think simultaneously it's even working better. One more thing I'd like to address is reloading in general. You don't have to do this, you can always do this if it doesn't work. Then if you press R, just do a side roll and you will reload instantly. You're just skipping the animation. So that's one or two things I'd like to point out before the actual run. And I would like to show you guys one more thing. That's pretty much the cop states you can be in this game. With Bold Ace it's gonna be a lot of trouble. But let's see how we're gonna roll that. If we find a cop, I put the police density to very high, so we should be able to find a cop. Well, it doesn't look too good in my opinion. Maybe at the bridge? Let's see, there are gangsters. Whoops. Okay, I see cops. So I will trigger them by... Exactly. So you're now seeing the fine. If I stop and pay the fine, cops will let me go. But there is also another state. I'm just going to drive over that pedestrian. You see, now it changed to handcuffs. If you get arrested by the cops or stopped by the cops and they arrest you, the game's over, obviously. Then there is a chance to get the gun, which is the worst thing in the game. Trust me, you will get killed by cops. And if you're wanted, roadblocks will appear. Okay. Okay, come on. There we go. Alright, but if you have the gun, as you can see, cops will kill you. And there is the wanted state you'll get if many more cops see you in a short matter of time, in a short period of time. And then you pretty much are screwed, because if roadblocks appear, your tires get popped out, you get shot by cops, and you pretty much die most of the time, so reloading is the right bet to do. But yeah, that's everything to be said in advance. And now let's start with the basic tutorial run. So yeah, let's go to the first mission, an offer you can't refuse. So one thing that changed over the last couple of weeks is that we do not skip directly this cutscene that is now coming up. We wait a little bit to get some sort of boosted start at the very beginning, and that happens in Mafia if you actually witness some movement. For example, a car moving, like this Bold Ace. We skip this cutscene and have the boosted start. So now we have those gangsters chasing us, and we have to make them crash somewhere. For example, at a lamppost, at a car, at least somewhere, so we can get rid of them. That's what I'm trying to do. Didn't work. Now we come to the stairs. You want to brake using the handbrake and turn left a little bit to jump on the stairs. As you can see, nothing's gonna happen. Sometimes you'll get a game over, but yeah, then you have to reset basically. Try to make them cars crash, otherwise you have to reset. That's the bad thing about this mission. You will reset a lot of times here. And you will reset a lot of times on the second mission as well, but that's the part of the Mafia speedrun. So yeah, we've lost the gangsters and just drive back to Salieri. The time limit is way generous. You don't have to worry about the time limit. Just go ahead, go full throttle. You see me change a little bit from manual to automatic gearbox. You don't have to do that at the very first runs or attempts. But at the very beginning, when I was actually starting, I had to be in second gear, and going that alley upwards after that stair jump was actually in manual gearbox in second gear. To get to manual gearbox, just press the button M and you're set. You want to do a drift here into that corner so that you can actually gain some momentum. I didn't do my best job there. You can do that way faster, but I think that was pretty decent. Not too good, but decent. So yeah, now we're driving through the tunnel. You want to use that right gap, as you can see. That's pretty much the strat we're gonna use in every single mission right now, especially with Bolt Thrower or other cars. Just, you know, squeeze on the right side, and that's it. Brake a little bit, go into that alleyway, just drive straight on, but you have to care about the sidewalk. For example, that sidewalk that's now coming up could actually flip you, and then you have to redo that mission. It's kind of awkward, but that's what the physics is about. So yeah, do not crash there. And we're done. Running Man hype. Here you just want to go manual and reverse.
Okay.
After he started talking, and then as soon as the talk's over, just go into automatic gearbox and go straight on. Now you see me use the reverse camera by colon, a comma, and full stop. That is pretty much that you don't have some traffic spawning ahead of you, for example cops, and that's what you want to do. As you can see, the bridge is up, unfortunately, so that's obviously a reset already. So what you can actually do is try to flip the car in the worst way possible. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, okay, you have to reload or reset basically, and then manual gearbox, reverse when he started talking, stops talking, automatic, go ahead, use the reverse camera to not have any traffic or police spawn ahead of you, because police is your enemy in that mission. Not as you have seen in the prequel of that tutorial run, but here, if you're getting cops on your ass, the mission is most likely to be game over. So yeah, the bridge is down, so we can use the reverse camera strats here as well, just to get no cops. Just accelerate, go straight on, as long as there's nothing ahead of you. You saw traffic spawning ahead of me right now. Can happen even with that glitch. Just brake, turn left here, go uphill, use manual gearbox in second gear here. You have to rev up the engine pretty high to actually be faster than with automatic gearbox in third gear. So just go ahead. They start complaining, but that's not a big deal, at least here. Turn right, go to the church basically. And yeah, as soon as you're there, just stop. You can already be in manual mode, just to be safe. And already downshift to reverse. Sometimes the game takes a really long time to save. So yeah, he starts talking, reverse, go to automatic, and you're gone. You save around about, I think, 10 seconds, because you don't have to see that animation, door opening, door closing. And you had a cop car. Use the speed limiter by F5, default key. Do not trigger the cops, they are horrible here. So yeah, take that road to the left and just go the straight line. If they start complaining, do not drive over 80 miles an hour. If you do that, the passengers will exit your cab and the mission is failed. So keep that in mind.
You're going too fast. You're going too fast. No problem. You're going too fast.
You see, they are really, really
Can't you slow
annoying.
down a little? Slow down.
I'm starting to get scared here.
Scared here.
And you see the cops right now, they were pretty much in a turning method. I accelerated, and that position it's alright, because you don't have a far way to the next passenger, so you can risk it. And they were, you know, facing in the other direction, but do not do that. Use the speed limiter and be safe. Here just brake a little bit to the side to trigger the next passenger, and pretty much use the method you have seen a couple of times already. When they start talking, reverse,
I'm lucky you're here. I need to get to the
and go into
theater on
automatic
Central
mode.
Island. Take the Giuliano Bridge so that we can get there quickly.
Whatever you want.
So beware of pedestrians. If you drive over a pedestrian, the mission's failed. So yeah, you can take the right road, the straight line, and then skip by the Giuliano Bridge. I will prefer this road because you won't have any problems with pedestrians here, at least to my knowledge. Pretty much basic road. Not a lot to say. One thing about cops though, that if you're behind a cop they don't spot you. Like for example, if you're driving too fast behind a cop, it's alright. And if you're ahead of a cop, like let's say 3 to 4 car lengths, you can pretty much disable speed limiter and they won't get you. Now here, driving uphill, go to manual mode and second gear and just rev up the engine. And of course use reverse camera to not trigger any cops. Then as soon as you're up, just go into third gear, set up automatic mode or use manual gearbox, whatever you like, and just go down with reverse camera. Then here, beware of cops or traffic. Brake here, turn left, to try not to crash somewhere or kill the pedestrian, and just get here to that point and trigger the next passenger. Here, do not reverse. Do not reverse. Just take him normally as you would do in a casual playthrough, because you won't trigger the next passenger and basically the mission's failed or you're soft locked the game, if you want to call it like that. So yeah, just take him normally and go to Hoboken. If you drive over the sidewalk when there's cops, you can pretty much bypass the check of the cops. As you can see, the lights were red and I bypassed it by driving over the sidewalk. The sidewalk is not the road, so if you violate the rules on the sidewalk, they do not care. So that's a thing that is really important in a speedrun, obviously. We have to exploit the things that Mafia give us. It's not a really difficult game, but still pretty challenging as a run, especially because of the cops. So yeah, just accelerate. We do not see him complaining, as I've been talking about. If they complain, do not drive over 80 miles an hour. Set 80 miles as your max. If you just go 81, the mission's failed because you will exit or she will exit. And now just take this shortcut here, just jumping down with like 40 miles an hour. Just go down. If you want to YOLO, you can do that. You'll most likely fail the mission because you injured the passenger. So I would suggest to just go the safe route. So always pay attention to cop cars here, not cop officers. They are not in the game yet.
There you go.
But cop cars are certainly one thing that can put you off. So yeah, now we triggered the last passenger to Little Italy.
I need to get to the department store car lot in Little Italy. Can you take me there?
No problem. Get in.
So yeah, here you want to get into second gear, for example automatically, then set into manual gear mode, as you can see. Oh, I forgot it apparently. Drive over that hill and then set it to automatic again. Just one thing where you can save a little bit of time. And just drive onwards. You can use reverse camera, but there could spawn pedestrians here, so I wouldn't recommend it too much. And of course, if cops appear, lower your speed. That's... I don't know why the game warns you that you're not driving on the Giuliano Bridge. You can see a cop car ahead of us. I'm going to brake and use the speed limiter. You don't want to have cops on your ass on that stretch because you will get the handcuffs and the mission's failed as soon as you get the handcuff state. Fine is alright, but handcuffs will fail the mission. So yeah. And here is a spot where pedestrians spawn as well. Do not use the reverse camera. Sometimes they cross the road and you pretty much fail the mission instantly as soon as you knock someone over. Yeah, reverse camera. And we will use a shortcut driving to the tunnel. You don't have to do that. You can pretty much use the same route like in the first mission, but you can also brake here using down and space. I'm using both the handbrake and the actual brake to brake down. It's a little bit more efficient unless you use secondary setup. Then it works as one button basically. And we go down the tunnel. If you're feeling risky, you can use reverse camera in the tunnel, but I'm not going to do that. And you can see he's complaining, so do not go over 80 miles an hour.
Driving too fast? Slow down a little.
And always check the police. Here are pedestrians. They could pretty much destroy it because the reverse camera glitch does not prevent the game from spawning pedestrians. One very, very important thing that caused many runs to die, or many attempts. So yeah, just drive this way. As you can see, the train. We'll have to wait a couple of hours for the train part. I know you guys are already hyping for it, but it will still take some minutes. Now just park somewhere on the parking lot.
This should cover
Meet the destination on the radar, and that's it. He steps out, and then you can start mashing your button of choice.
I had a couple. Finish him off.
And we get into the running state. This is pretty much tricky.
It
You
was
want
clear to me
to
that I had to get out of there
hug the
fast.
walls,
Couldn't
basically,
handle that animal on my own.
and try to
I said to
avoid, of
myself
course,
that
certain
now was
pedestrians
probably
that
the
are
right
running
call
ahead of
for
you.
Mr. Salieri
Just
to
hug
show
the
his
walls.
gratitude.
Try not to
Larry
get
Bob
killed.
was just
Sometimes you
down
will
the
get
street.
killed
Decided it was
anyways.
certainly a lot
You can
nicer
do
than a
whatever you
baseball
want
bat
to
my
prevent
head.
that. They can kill you anyways. For example, through the wall. It works as well. Tested it already. Wall hacks aimbot. So yeah, just run like the game would suggest you. If you go into another direction too far, you'll die. So the game has some sort of security for it. But there are arrows pretty much pointing where you should be going. Beware of the car that comes out here. You do not want to get driven over by that car. Sometimes there's a pedestrian blocking it, so you just go ahead and squeeze on the left side. Works as well. Yeah, just go hug the walls or try to hug them as close as possible. And then you will see the best car in the game already, which is obviously the Bold Ace. Yeah, and then you just run to Salieri's bar. You can YOLO here. If they want to kill you, they will kill you anyways. And yeah, that is Running Man. So now Molotov Party, just skip the cutscenes. And you're in Molotov Party. So we use our lovely Bold Ace, this time in green, not the red one. By the way, K is the button for the horn. I think would be translating to klaxon, so that's why it's K by default. And there are two methods on really doing this mission. One is blowing up the Bold Ace to get the Bolt Thrower Easter egg, and the other one is the classic way with getting a gun by the cops, because you do not have a handgun right now, but I will show you later. Now the first one that was discovered by Lunda. So you just take the Bold Ace on the bridge, drive a little bit, then you see that, let's say, tower on the left side with those windows. You brake on the height of that. As you can see, you do a little bit of spin and crash into one of those, I don't know, blocks. Pretty much that one. That is really important to crash in that one. Then you will look for other Bold Aces. I found one, that's cool. Use a Molotov cocktail, throw it on the Bold Ace. It will explode and trigger the Bold Ace the Bolt Thrower Easter egg for you. You can leave Paulie behind. He doesn't have to be taken with you. He's a nuisance after all. So yeah, you see the screen faded out for a sec, and that is pretty much the confirmation that you actually activated the Bolt Thrower Easter egg. So now we just go to the downtown bridge. And of course beware of cops, since the Bolt Ace is not really a sports car. It is the best car in the game, but it has some flaws, obviously. So yeah, and then just head of the bridge, turn left into that alley, and you can see a red car there. Brake a little bit. Do not forget the Bold Ace does not have a handbrake. Step out of the car and get into your shiny red bolt thrower, which is gonna be your best partner for the rest of the run, and the fastest car you can acquire in the story mode. So just reverse, turn, and let's go to Morello's bar. This time you don't really have to pay that much attention to the cops, especially not on Central Island, since cops will be too slow to keep up with the bolt thrower. Do not worry about them, just go full throttle and you'll be fine. As you can see, I'm still using the arrow keys, not the secondary setup, which is gonna result in spins at some point. But here I would start recommending to use reverse camera to not have cops spawn ahead of you, because if you have cops in front of Morello's bar, you cannot trigger the mission and the save game, so you will have a lot of problems. So as you can see, there is a cop car, speed limiter on, and now I'm behind him, so I can go full throttle. And as soon as you turn into that street here, the game is saving. So you really want to kill that guy. He can say something else and then gangsters come out. Just reload in that case. And here, just go behind. As you can see, I want to align there. And as soon as you reverse, just gradually push that car to the side and reverse, for example, to the right. Push it in the middle between those two cars. Reverse, do not drive on the box. I will have two alternating strats later. And now take the Molotov cocktail, throw it in the biggest gap between two cars. And as soon as you've done enough damage on two cars, you're pretty much set. You can just drive straight to Salieri's bar, and the mission's done. So no need for the baseball bat. And if there is no message round about here on the stop sign, return to Salieri's bar, then you know something went wrong and you have to reload. If you see that message, as you can see, the mission's pretty much done and you just have to go home. And we're pretty much using, I think, the same route as we did with the Last Passenger and Running Man. So just brake here, go into that alley. Do not crash into all those boxes. And yeah, take the tunnel and you're fine. I triggered the cops right now, which isn't too big of a problem. I have the Bolt Pro after all. And on top of that, you can use a certain strats to get into Salieri's bar, not by using the front door, which is kind of obvious. You can always use the back door as well. Let's see, I think the cops are far away, so we can actually just go there. If the cops are nearer, just use the backdoor strats I will show later. And that's it. Now I want to show you another strat on how to trigger the bolt thrower Easter egg. That's with usage of the cops to get a handgun. So let's see. Okay, there are cops. I had to retake that a couple of times, as you might have seen with the cut. So yeah, just brake. Do not use the handbrake because the Bolt Ace does not have a handbrake. Use the baseball bat. Smash it against the window of the driver. Then as soon as he turns back to you, bam. Just crash, take his gun, shoot the other guy, and go into your Bolt Ace. Unless you see another Bolt Ace, as you can see. There on the right. There's another Bolt Ace I could have picked up instead of just using that one because I already had a started engine. Would have been faster, but doesn't matter too much. So yeah, now we just go on the bridge. Again, driving the same way you've already seen before. You don't want to do the cop strats as I showed you right now. You want to either use the blowing up the Bolt Ace strats or have the cops right on the bridge. So for example, somewhere around that tower, let's call it tower, because that makes a lot more sense and you won't lose too much time. There are cops, for example, perfect RNG. So you can try to use the drive-by shooting skills of Tommy, and I actually hit it. What the hell? Okay, but nevertheless, let's just step out to see where to shoot. You just try to shoot, as you can see, in that segment of the window, and that's gonna trigger the bolt thrower Easter egg. So yeah, so far to that strat. And now I'd like to show you more ways on how to do Morello's bar with the bolt thrower. The first one is pretty much, yeah, killing the guy, and then pretty much the same way, but as you can see, a little bit faster. But do not turn to the box. I'm pretty much reversing in the other direction, which is possible as well, of course, and throwing the Molotov cocktail right in the same spot as before, and you've done enough damage. Another strat, if you struggle with that one, is to use 3 turns to position the car. It's not that difficult as well, so kill this guy and push that car at the rear, reverse, and push it from the front. So as you can see right now, as I'm just doing it, and you will maneuver that third car right between the 2 others, reverse into the gate, throw the Molotov cocktail, and you're done. So not too difficult of a mission, and it's way faster obviously than using the baseball bat, and similar. Okay, so well, let's continue with ordinary routine. So here, just of course, skip the cutscene and go to Vincenzo. You try to squeeze between Sam and Paulie. You'll need them in this mission. So talk to Ralphie, trigger his cutscene. You will do it a lot of times. Talk to Ralphie first and go to Vincenzo, pick up the gun, and Ralphie has already found his place and shows you how to unlock the car. That's something you will see a lot of times here. So yeah, we go to Vincenzo to get our gun.
Hey, Vincenzo. I need some kind of gun.
Hey, Tom, I think this'll do the trick.
It should work. I wasn't planning on using it anyway. Thanks.
So let's just take the handgun, go back to Paulie and Sam, and to Ralphie, who shows us how to unlock the Bolt Model B.
Ain't nothing swanky, but it's a good enough drive. You get into
And you need a 4-seater in this mission, so do not even try to use the bolt thrower. Of course it would be faster, but because you do not have 4 seats in the bolt thrower, it does not work.
piece of cake.
Thanks, Ralphie.
So yeah, just unlock the car, and do not hurt anyone. Do not drive ahead. Just wait for those 2 guys to enter the car, because if you hurt or injure one of them, the whole family comes by with pump guns and will kill you, and you can't trigger the mission. So just wait and go ahead, drive outside Salieri's bar.
Okay. First we'll go to a restaurant.
So in order to get to Central Island, we're gonna use the bridge you have seen with the bolt thrower Easter egg. Of course, you want to use the reverse camera glitch all the time where it's possible. Do not trigger any cops. Cop officers, or well, officers, are irrelevant. They can spot you as long as there is no car really near to them, because if so, the car will trigger as well. So yeah, up the bridge. You can think about using manual gearbox 2nd gear here, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, just get along, drive around. Hopefully do not crash into something, and as soon as you feel you're getting near to the lights, change the camera to normal, brake down, take this road. I see a police car turning, that's really good. So beware of cops, in case just use the sidewalk. Here just park near the entrance. Paulie might get out. If he doesn't get out in like 2 or 3 seconds, just go out of the car yourself, as you can see. In that case, Sam will get out the car as well, and you really want to show where Polly has to go, so lead him the way, because the AI pathfinding, yeah, you might have seen in one of my runs or in other runners' attempts that it's really, really bad. So yeah, Sam will get out as well if you get out and show Polly the way, so it will be a little bit slower, but it works. So yeah, gotta keep that in mind. So let's just wait for Polly. He will appear at some point, at least I hope. And there he is! Wow! Let's go. Oh, for fuck's sake, ball days, please. Our Lord and Savior, Kappa. So yeah, we're getting to the bridge, so what are we gonna do? Manual gearbox, second gear. Same strat as you have seen with the Falconer. And as soon as you're on top of the bridge, just go into automatic mode and use the gravity to accelerate. You can't drive over pedestrians, obviously, right now. I'm always mistaking it for Running Man in some attempts. I'm shocked when I'm driving over a pedestrian, but of course you don't have to be. And we're gonna shorten up using the shortcut you have seen in Running Man. You can go YOLO, but as always, take your time. It doesn't really matter too much. You will maybe gain like 2 seconds. Is it worth it? Well, you have to think about it for yourselves. So now you have to check for officers, well, foot patrol, or cop cars. Both of those guys you don't want to trigger. So you can use speed limit. Oh, there we go. There's a cop. But yeah, just wait near the Palermo bar or Palermo club for Paulie to get out. Now he gets in. If you have cops on your ass, you pretty much failed the mission. Unless you lose them. Or shoot them all before you get the wanted state. You remember, wanted state roadblocks. In this mission you won't get any roadblocks, if I recall correctly. I think you can get, but the chances are really low. Still, you don't want to trigger cops. So now Paulie gets into the car and we're heading to the countryside. And that was pretty much the first real way that is beyond casual gameplay, because the first missions, well, we pretty much used the basic casual route you would probably have guessed in advance. But at the hotel we will change the entire thing. I would suggest not to trigger cops here in town. You can do that on the countryside, but not in town, because they will catch you with that bold Model B you're using. I think they have a Schubert 6 already, so it is faster than the bold Model B. And they can pretty much drag you down like on pinball, flipper. It just ends in a really, really bad way. So yeah, you might be thinking we're gonna do the hotel part, but we're actually not going to, since we're breaking the sequence. As you can see, I'm triggering the cop because it doesn't really matter anymore. We're driving around about 65 miles an hour, so we're pretty fast, and it's not too long till we get to Clark's Motel. And we're gonna shoot the boss directly through the window in order to, you know, bypass everything. It is a pretty neat glitch, saving a lot of time. Really, a lot of time. Bolt thrower saves a lot of time, but this does as well. And I will tell you on how to do that, at least on my way to do that. You have to figure out it for yourself. It's personal preference. So you get there, there's a cutscene, just mash through the cutscene. And then you want to crouch into some position where you see the L of the motel and shoot into the 5th rib, or at least into my position I'm showing you, of the jalousie.
That's regular routine.
And if you hear him like, oh, oh, then you know you hit. If you use more than your bullets, you pretty much have to reload, but it should be the case that it's working really fine, or really nicely. So yeah, Fairplay, best mission in the game. So as you can see, I'm going straight to visit Ralphie at the very beginning. He will talk you through the entire mission, so we have to visit him.
Hey, Ralphie, you got some news about this job?
Sure, Tommy. You need to go to the
And it's pretty much the description of what you're gonna do and what you really want in this mission.
Bobby works there.
You don't really have to listen,
Go around back
obviously.
there and, along the way is the gatehouse. Tell Bobby that Ralph sent you, and Bobby will take you to the car. It's already been agreed with him.
And then?
You just have to take it to the auto service of my friend Luca Bertoni. It's in Newark under the Giuliani Bridge. He'll take a look at it and tune it a little, and then you just take it back.
This should be easy enough.
But you gotta get it done before 1:15 a.m. when the guard changes, so that nobody knows that somebody drove the motor in the night. There can't even be a scratch on it, and try to avoid the cops. They mustn't catch you.
And how'll I get there?
Yeah, how will we get there? Well, we just started the bolt thrower. You pretty much enter the bolt thrower, hold up, wait till it starts, and get out of the car. Then you want to block the way next to the bolt thrower for Ralphie to just go through, and wait next to the red Schubert 6. So he shows you how to unlock it. It's mandatory to watch that cutscene.
Well,
It's mandatory to know how to unlock the Schubert 6, especially in beta. Get used to it later.
You just stick a piece of wire in here and
So,
twist it a
watch
little,
carefully.
and you get inside where you gotta join these two wires.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. Thanks, Ralphie.
Don't you go sparing the gas.
Of
Tom.
course, you don't have to worry about anything, especially not the cops in this mission, which is kind of weird. So just get out, the mission starts, and you have to find Bobby. As you can see, we're gonna drive to the racetrack. That's our destination. Just remember to brake or use the secondary setup. You can shorten by using the sidewalks, but sidewalks are an enemy. They can flip you in a bolt thrower. You'll die as soon as you land on the roof, because it's a soft material roof. And of course you can use the horn to make traffic leave a space for you to drive through. And now just look at that one guy on the fire. Yeah. So here, just accelerate. There are no cops, as I said earlier. Bobby will tell you that you have to pay attention to the cops since you're driving a race car. But yeah, there are no cops in this mission. There are rests of it in the code if you watch through it, but nothing is activated. So here, just brake. Do not start braking too late because you can die. So yeah. Now go back to Bobby, trigger him, right mouse button obviously.
Evening. You must be Ralph's friend.
Get back into your car, start it up, and wait. And then your controls are pretty much locked. As soon as Bobby wants to open up this gate, as you want to call it like that. As you can see, I move some buttons and nothing happens. And there we go. Now we can drive over to the garage. You do not want to crash somewhere. And as soon as you're next to the garage, you want to use the handbrake to do some sort of U-turn. To park like that, as you can see. I tried, and the parking is really good. Can't argue about that. You want to do similar.
Okay, we're here, buddy.
And then
Come on.
go out the car, get into, start the engine, get out. And accompany Bobby when he opens the gate. And then just push when he unlocks the gate.
Is that it?
Yeah, buddy, be real careful. There can't even be a scratch on it. And avoid the cops like the devil, because this car will be real obvious.
That's right.
In about half an hour, the second guard will come. So you gotta be back by then, buddy. And be real careful, that car goes fast. Maybe it's the fastest car in the world, who knows?
Sure, Bobby, no problem. I'll take care of it in a half hour.
So get into the race car and just drive away. You'll feel that the acceleration is a little bit better on the Carousella than the Bolt Thrower. And it's really loud. And if you do not have the brightness level set to high on your monitor or display, then it could actually be really dark to drive here, so better set it up to a level that suits you. And yeah, you can pretty much use the same route we've used with the Bolt Thrower. Nothing too special. But we will take some shortcuts because we have to go to Lucas Bertone. So just brake here and drive through that alleyway. You can see it ahead of us. Try to race through it, you don't have to. Smash that gate. Drive here. Go straight. And use the next shortcut basically in order to get on the straight line to the bridge. One thing I'd like to address, if the bridge is going to be up, you have to turn the last left ahead of the bridge and then pretty much go through the tunnel and Giuliano Bridge. I won't do that in speedrun, but yeah, you would know the route. It's pretty much the same we used in Running Man, only in the other direction. If you hear the bridge to go up right now, you can use the bridge on your way back, but it didn't go up for me, so I'm gonna use the tunnel on my way back. And using the tunnel in the first place, another bridge, will actually cost you some time, because you have to detour. Doesn't matter too much though. So yeah, just accelerate. You can keep on second gear if you're driving up the Giuliano Bridge. You'll actually gain some speed. Not too much, but still, it's worth mentioning. So yeah, as soon as you're down here, just do a U-turn. And take that pedestrian way, footpath to Lucas Bertone. And then go back to the racetrack. As you can see, there's a lot of drive from A to B, B to C, C to D in this mission. A little bit monotonous, but that's why we love Fairplay. So yeah, do a U-turn again, and climb up the hill. As you can see, I used the second gear in manual mode this time. And now just take the route through the tunnel if you didn't hear the bridge to go up on your first pass. Now it doesn't really matter, you will still, I think, lose a bit of time. I timed it once. I believe it was something like 4 seconds. So in my opinion, it's a good trade-off for consistency. Just go full throttle this way, and you just take the same route we used with the Bolt Thrower when we got to the racetrack in the first place. Because now we joined this route here. And even if you don't hear it, the klaxon, so the horn of that car is actually working, so you can mash it and cars will do some space. Something that is weird, in night missions you won't be able to hear the horn of the car. So that's something you have to keep in mind in certain other night missions, like for example visiting rich people. That will come up at a later point. And we're finally going to arrive at the racetrack again. Our job's done. We're just gonna place the car where it was. At least that's what we're hoping for. Okay, I crashed. You shouldn't be doing that. That's not the best way to do it. Have some space between the wall and the car, unless you want to do that. So brake, using the same method as described before, braking and height braking at the same time, and get into the garage, triggering the next cutscene with Bobby.
So you pulled it off, buddy. And the car isn't even scratched.
Thanks, Bobby. It really was the fastest car in the world.
Sure is. We're lucky you managed it. I bet on the Don's car, too.
It seems everybody did.
I bet on it. So did almost everybody in my neighborhood.
I figure the driver's pretty important, too.
Sure. Well, I won't keep you. Good night.
Take care, Bobby. Thanks for the help.
And now let's get back into the Bullfrog. We already started up in advance. As you can see, it still has the engine running. And we're going back to Salieri's bar. By the way, guys, I think I'm going to do some skip buttons for driving sections on the video. And of course, I'm going to do some, let's say, timetable in the description, so you can pretty much click on the mission you want to watch. Or just use the speed option on YouTube to fasten up this part of the video, since it's just driving around the city. I don't think everybody wants to see that in such detail, but still, I'd like to keep those scenes at normal speed, in case anybody wants to watch them in detail, to see one or two tricks here and there, to see me nearly flip on the sidewalk, which is possible everywhere. So now we can hear the horn, but we're just gonna proceed. There were no cars in the way. We'll approach the Salieri's bar soon. And just stick to the left side, near the sidewalk. And as soon as you see Salieri's bar, start braking. Exit the car. And trigger the next part of the mission. And we have to drive to the racetrack again, because we need to drive the race. Our car was our driver was injured, so we have to fill in the gap. And you, when you're actually exiting Salieri's bar, that's something I forgot, you want to stick to the left as far as possible. Not close to the wall to the right, because otherwise you may get transported or teleported somewhere in the wall or to Salieri's backyard. So stay to the left. Here in this mission, police doesn't matter, since you have to go to the racetrack. It's still a long way to go. So yeah, cops do not matter. Just go full throttle, use the horn in order to make some space, and you see me spin. The Drift King is back. But yeah, that's something you won't be able to avoid in a speedrun. That's something I can guarantee. At least not at the very beginning. You see me do that very often. So it happens. It doesn't really matter too much. So yeah, same way we've been taken before. Nothing too special, nothing too fancy. Gate is already opened, so we do not have to activate Bobby. And here, when you're approaching all the other guys, do not crash into them. It's really easy. Especially when you're trying to brake and you're pretty much braking a straight line. go. As you can see, I've been very, very careful. And the race starts. Just mash enter and you're set. There is no damage selection or difficulty in 1.0. So yeah, try to stick to the left, overtake all those guys. And then brake at the end. You want to distract the red car to not crash into you. You want to play with the AI a little bit, as you can see. Turn there. Nothing too special. Now, right about here, when you see those blocks, brake. And take that shortcut here to the left. It looks like an intended route, if you ask me. So use that route. You see the wrong way warning. Do not worry, this is intended, especially in the speedrun. And as soon as you see the next checkpoint, use num0 to reset the car. And you're pretty much at the finishing line again. And as soon as you drive over the finishing line, you see the lap has counted. So that is the glitch that is 1.0 exclusive. If you try to do that with 1.1 onwards, you will crash into an invisible wall, which basically makes you have to drive the entire race, and that will prove costly. I think a race time, or well, a lap time is around about 1:20, and we're doing like 54 laps, 54 second laps, so around about 30 seconds each time, 5 laps, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So yeah, just brake always, drive through here, stick to the left side here, because you will trigger the checkpoint earlier. And as soon as you trigger the checkpoint here, num0, and you're done. You can look behind yourself in order to evade cars that might be crashing into you. Are you actually driving ahead of them to make them brake? But yeah, that's about it for the race. Nothing more to tell here. You see, good speedrunners do usually like 54 second laps or even 52. But I think lower than 51 is impossible. If you happen to record a lap, feel free to post it. It would be very interesting. So yeah, now we're just cheating our way through the race, if you want to call it like that. We do not feel bad though. If you remember in your childhood how this race was incredibly difficult, especially in 1.0, then you can't feel bad about it. At least not in my opinion. And there were a lot of stories of people stopping to play this game just because of this race. It proved to be a wall for some sort of people. And by the way, one thing I forgot totally is, if you're trying to get into the shortcut, do not crash against that roadblock. Crash into the guarding rail. The guarding rail will pretty much not trigger any damage on your car, but the block will do. And if you damage the car too much, you can pretty much break off an axis and a tire. Makes the race completely impossible. So yeah, last lap. I'll let you enjoy the sounds here. So yeah, the race done. Just mash enter. And we'll be soon at Sally's Bar, and you have to drive to Lucas Bertone again. He wants to show you how to unlock a car as a prize for your work, because he won a lot of money betting on you, or basically the driver that was actually supposed to drive. But he doesn't want to give you a present, he wants to show you how to unlock a car, so you can steal the car from, I think, the mayor. It's the town hall, if I recall correctly. The yellow Lassiter Phaeton. We used to use that car in the chase with Don Morello, later at Crème de la Crème. But luckily Itsu, that means Itsuku Shimu, found out a way on how to bypass that car, and even the Silver Fletcher, from visiting rich people. But yeah, I will address those facts later as well. You shouldn't trigger cops here near Lucas garage. Because otherwise you will have to get into the faded mode so they do not spot you directly, and then step out of the car. Well, that U-turn went horribly. As you can see, that is a way you can use in Running Man. With that guy who wants to... with Sarah, basically. So yeah, we triggered Lucas Bertone. We've learned how to steal the Lassiter Phaeton. But we're not gonna steal that car. We have the build thrower after all. We do not need a slower car. So we're just gonna go back to Salieri. Police doesn't matter now. We have the build thrower. Even if that would be like 6 police cars, easy peasy. But you see that one police car literally crashing to the guarding rail. So yeah, stay to the right side in the tunnel unless there's a free lane. You see a lot of cops here that will chase me. So I'm probably going to use the backdoor strats at Salieri's bar. Oh my god, you see that flip? That can happen with the sidewalk. I wasn't joking around when I said the sidewalk is one of the worst enemies in the Mafia speedrun. So yeah, what do I mean by backdoor strats? Just go right here, crash against there, and you pretty much block the entire gate. Now you're in incognito mode, you see that confused policeman, they do not spot you right now, and you can finish this mission.
One evening, after a slow day, I was
Alright,
sitting
let's go
alone
to
at
Sarah.
Salieri's and just drinking.
It's really nice
And
that
there we
can
go,
get
this is
away
the
that
Sarah
way.
mission.
These clowns were really strange. I
We
was
have
really
to
nervous.
escort
Problem.
Sarah back home
I'll deal with those troublemakers later.
in order to get a certain reward. Now we use the mouse wheel to get the knuckle duster. It's gonna be our
So you
weapon
also
of
work
choice.
with Salieri, don't you?
And now you're just going to walk side by side with Sarah
Yeah, I work for him sometimes. We
till a
usually
certain
laugh at
point
that for fun.
where you won't lose her if you just go ahead. You can do some side rolls as well just by tapping D twice. Unless you deactivate it, then it's D plus space or D plus jump. And then, as you can see, that window position was exactly the right one. We just go ahead.
No, I've got something else to do today.
And here against the gangsters, you want to circle around them. Just stay in motion, circle around them, and punch. You can punch ahead when they move towards you. The punch will hit, so you can pretty much punch in midair as long as they face you and come towards you. You don't want to get punched by them, just punch. You saw the screen fade to black, so Sarah was glitched a little bit and will come by right now. Punch them as long as they are not raising their hands and shouting "we're not worthy" cap. Yeah, and then charge up a punch this guy, and that when you see that guy with a baseball bat coming by, so try to punch him as much as possible. Those two guys, literally. Try to get him from behind because they can't really attack you. Okay, that wasn't too good, but you can see it works. And now he runs away. Sarah, punch her to skip lines of text.
Anytime.
The classic. That's okay, Sarah. Anytime. There is another glitch I'd like to point out here, is that if somebody is blocking Sarah's path in front of the door, she can actually go the complete way around that block. You don't want that to happen, so if there's somebody blocking it, punch him. So here, just go next to Sarah. If you run ahead, you'll lose her, and the mission's failed. So just stick to Sarah and go side by side. As you can see, the sun is rising.
He's really funny.
Yeah, he's real funny. I always say that.
Isn't that great panorama?
Strange. It's really creepy. I don't know how a person can change mood so suddenly.
But still, I think the graphics really look tidy, and
Yeah, he's been around
considering they are 14 years old right now.
Everything rubbed off on him. Maybe that's why he behaves kind of rough.
So Sarah will cross the road. You can block a car from your side in order for Sarah to cross the road, unless she will look left, right for like a minute. Can happen as well. You want to prevent it, obviously.
Salieri's a good guy.
And as soon as you get to that post box, the letter box, you can see there, the blue one on the left side, then you can just go ahead there. And this question of questions, open door. And yeah, the mission's done. Now better get used to it. A really, really interesting mission. Because of course there is a new strat here. Well, not a really new strat, but certainly making this mission a lot more consistent than it was back in the days. So you won't get a car by Ralphie, so you just go to Vincenzo directly and get the combination for all the pros. Baseball bat and a Colt 1911. The Colt 1911 is a really decent handgun. You will agree. Definitely a lot better than a certain other Colt.
Never know. My words exactly. I've got these Colt 1911.
Especially when combined with the rapid fire glitch.
Thanks, Vinny.
So yeah, pick up all those guns. Well, that one gun and the baseball bat. And then go to the bolt thrower. Park near Paulie and pick him up. And let's go. And this part that will come up later is one part you have to practice a lot of times. Oh yeah. There's that hut that just was created in this mission, and it's only in this mission. Really irritating. But yeah, you don't want to trigger cops right now. You hope to not trigger them. There we go. Use the speed limiter, just in case. Now you want to go to Chinatown and talk with Biff. Oh my god. So police officers are a nuisance as well. Do not trigger them. I've been mistaking that guy for a police officer. So yeah, park near Biff, get out of the car and talk to Biff. Start the conversation. And now you can pretty much get back into the bolt thrower, start it up, and look for four-seaters. As you can see, that blue car ahead of us was a Falcone. That red car is a Schubert 6 we can unlock on the left side. So in order to that park, it's great. There's the Falcone again. As you can see, this is one car you cannot unlock, and you need a four-seater car, or a car with four doors basically. A Falcone you can unlock, and you can see the Schubert 6 has parked. So that's a really, really great thing, so we can get the Schubert 6. The only cars you can pretty much get here are a Bold Ace 4-door, a Schubert 6, and the Bold Model B. These are the only 4-seaters you can unlock. The Falcona, the blue one, is impossible. And there's a Falcona ahead of us, but we will get the red Schubert 6. If I just unlock it, there's a cop, but as long as he is facing the other direction, he doesn't really care. Start it up. Beware of cops. You can even get the wanted state with a Schubert 6, and in case the police is on your ass, you cannot trigger the next part of the mission. So really pay attention to officers or cop cars. So yeah, and here you want to park like as close as possible to that, you know, joint area with the red gate. You will just park like a slash there, as you can see, pretty near the wall there, and enter from behind. That's the case. You can see, position a little bit, get a feeling for it, but you need to trigger Polly. He needs to say the sentence, "I think this is the place." Now just get in the back and try to get out again, and you bypass this wall, the wall clip, kill this guy, and jump by mashing space over that barrel, get into this area, say hello to that blue shirt guy, and jump over this barrel. He won't be shooting you or killing you. And then as soon as Polly triggers this cutscene, you know you've done it correctly. If he doesn't do that, you need to reload. So yeah, then just jump on that very first barrel. You can maneuver a little bit and just look straight ahead and wait until that guy comes up. And the mission triggers. Then just run ahead. You would have a chase normally, but as you can see, the chase is needed since we killed that one guy already. And that's about it. Wall clip saved the day. Now the whore. What you want to do here in the very beginning is take the Falconer and squeeze it between two cars in Salieri's backyard. As you can see, there's a Schubert 6 and the Bold Model B. Squeeze it between them and then just try to exit the car, and you teleport outside, so it's fast to you. You skip the animation and get into the Bolt Thrower. You can actually use the Falconer as well directly, since there are a lot of cops in this mission. And the Falconer isn't too slow, way faster, for example, than the Bold Model B. So it's actually a pretty tight car. You can use the bridges to get to the hotel. It's actually a little bit faster, but they can be up, so I'm showing the consistent route over Tunnel and Giuliano Bridge. You don't want to trigger cops in this mission. Cops are horrible in this mission. You hear me saying cops are horrible a lot of times in this game, and you will find out why when you start practicing for this run. Yeah, after the Giuliano Bridge, you want to do a U-turn like we did on Fairplay in order to get to Lucas Bertona, but we don't want to get to Lucas Bertona. We will drive straight to downtown, to the Hotel Corleone. You probably spot where that name came from. Just go ahead here, and the officers are right, but not cop cars. If cop cars are near, use the speed limiter. And here in that case, just go the safe route and turn on the speed limiter. So yeah, stop next to the Hotel Corleone, get out of the car, and trigger the mission of the whore. You don't need to have the manager trigger or get a key. Just jump around the stairs. It's a little bit faster than walking. Go into the second floor, go to this certain door, mash right mouse button, and you trigger the first part of the mission. Wait for this guy to appear, get behind him, use the cold rapid fire glitch, shoot him, and get his sort of shotgun you'll need later to kill certain people way faster, like this guy. And now just wait in front of the manager's office, because the manager will come by. We do not actually need to get to him. We can just wait here. He will appear. There as he is. Shoot him. That guy hiding. And you trigger the bomb scene just by mashing right mouse button against his desk. And there we go. That was pretty much the first part of the horror. And we have 100 HP. Now we're on the roof. On the rooftop. Actually a little bit difficult part. We used to do another strat by deactivating cops and something. But you don't really need to do that. Okay? Just try to jump over those stairs by mashing space. Platforming in Mafia is really kind of awkward. As you can see. Try to mash space to get around. Reload your Colt 1911 in case you didn't. Then just jump around, as you can see. Jump. Do not fall down. Jump. And shoot the sniper there. That's pretty much the biggest problem. And just jump down. As soon as you jump down, you don't lose any health. And here, just go straight and mash the space button and you'll be able to climb it. Get the Springfield rifle. And you've done the rooftops with ease. And there you go in the priest. That's actually a tough mission, at least in my opinion. You can reload and use the medikit at the same time. With 80 HP I would probably not use the medikit normally, but let's do it. Use the sort of shotgun to shoot the first guy that comes by and the next one. And then use the Springfield by just dismissing it, backspace, and killing those two guys with the sniper rifle. And then there's one guy, as you can see there behind. Way far, just shoot against him. You can try to shoot him as well, but I'm gonna pick up the Colt 1911, which is a fast weapon, especially with the rapid fire glitch that I'm going to exploit right now. Take his 1911 Colt as well for ammunition, and then just wait at that point. There's nothing you can really do, just wait here. As soon as you see the pump gun guys, kill them, because pump gun is the worst weapon in the game. Trust me.
No, please have mercy, don't kill me.
So, while waiting a bit of time, nobody's actually approaching. Okay, so now you found out why pump guns are actually bad. But yeah, I'm gonna keep that in the video as well. To see why pump gunners are horrible. You don't have any time to react, basically. You can't shoot him from that position. And as soon as you reload, that guy is pretty much stuck behind that row of seats. And now I'm literally unable to miss this, hit that guy, okay. As you can see, needed 4 attempts. So there we go. Now that guy. Now dismiss that weapon by using backspace. And use the Colt 1911. Pick up the ammunition. Kill that guy using the rapid fire glitch. Taking his ammunition as well. 36 HP is actually really bad. And as you can see now, the 2 doors opened and we see the pump gunner. We see that guy. That's actually the normal case. The good case. Okay, we did it. 4 guys were dead. So we've done. Now, look out for super cost. If there is a cop right there, just reload until there's nobody. And yeah, we're at the Lester Sharon. Incognito mode, confused policeman. We're wanted though, so as soon as a police car sees us, we're getting the handcuff state again. So you can try to lose the cost, but it's really, really difficult. So what we're gonna do is just drive to Salieri. As you can see, I'm in manual mode. I would recommend you to learn to use manual mode here, you'll gain some time. And just go the basic route. Nothing to be added here. Get to the Giuliano Bridge. Of course, when you're going uphill the Giuliano Bridge, second gear manual is the key. Even with the Lasseter V16. We do not care about the cops. You wanna pick that way to the right, you just crash against that wall with the side to break down. And we're of course using the back door entrance strats at Salieri's bar. As long as we're getting chased by the cops. Maybe we'll lose them though. And as I said, squeeze to the right at the tunnel. Works every single time. Really consistent. And you see that cop car just having that alarm that I'm speeding, but it was on and off and on and off because of those pillars in the tunnel that prevent a direct sight between you, the player, and the police car. So that's something you can exploit, but sometimes it does work, so it's not really consistent. And as you can see, okay, there is no cop following me actually, but I'm still going to backdoor entrance strats. Block the entrance, get out of the car. You see, there is no gap for cops to get through, and you've done the priest. One of the more difficult missions in the game, in my opinion. So yeah, just mash, and we're at a trip to the country.
One day.
So in this mission you want to visit Ralphie first. You don't want to just get into the bolt thrower and straight drive out.
What have you got for me today, Ralphie?
So let's talk to him a little bit.
Tom, I have
He wants to persuade us to take his car that he's going to show us how to unlock. But you already know the answer to that kind of question. We're gonna start up the bolt thrower in advance. Just get into the bolt thrower, hold up or W, whatever you set the keys to, and get out as soon as the engine starts. Block the way for Ralphie not to get stuck there, and then just go to the bolt V8. And you get the usual cutscene you see with Ralphie showing us how to unlock the car.
They put a new lock on it, but it ain't no problem. Hey, watch. See? It's real easy. You can take this car or something older. Whatever you want.
Thanks, Ralphie.
So you get back to the bolt thrower, obviously. Wait for Ralphie to get out and then just drive out. The shortest way to the warehouse is by going the Terra Nova bridge. So that means the bridge you see from Chinatown to the hospital, basically. So we're going to Chinatown first. Beware of the sidewalks. You see what happens. It could have been a flip there, but luckily we managed to land it. So yeah, just drive full throttle. You don't have to really pay attention to the cops right now. You can though, by using reverse camera strats. You should be starting to pay attention when you do that turn later. So roundabout starting from here, you should pay attention to the cops. They won't be able to follow you right now, but they will when you're going on the road in Hoboken where the tram is driving. You already seen that road beforehand in both Running Man and Ordinary Routine. So here, pay attention to the cops. Because if the cops are chasing you actively, that means that their symbol of handcuffs, the fine, or the gun, the worst case, is not faded out, so pretty much active, then you have to, you know, lose the cops somehow. If the symbol is inactive and you get here and the gate doesn't open, just step out of the car and walk to the gate and it will trigger the mission, so that is no problem. Yeah, we're at the farm and we're just going straight to the truck to check what happened to our crew. You can see it's just walking. I've hidden the pump gun, you don't have to do that. Now pick up the pump gun and pretty much position yourself backwards to the truck so you can shoot instantly. And shoot the pump gunner first, he does the most damage. Then the hand gunner. Use the Colt to shoot that guy behind you. Reload the Colt by using the rapid fire glitch, for example. Take the pump gun and shoot that guy up at the hut there. Very nicely. And then just go back to Paulie. We do not shoot the other guys right now. Maybe you have seen older runs of mine. I used to shoot everybody right now. You don't have to do that. You save time when Paulie is actually right behind you. So we're going to visit Paulie. And as you can see, we're taking another route. You wouldn't take the main road of the farm because then you will trigger bad guys. You know, I think it's like 4 bad guys coming out. We don't want to do that. So we take this route or this road, footpath, and get back to the truck and talk to Paulie.
They're all dead! What? The truck crew, out there in the back, they wasted them.
What? What about Sam? Did you see him?
No, I didn't see him, but the barn was locked. He might be in there.
We ain't leaving without him. We have to go back and get him.
Okay, we'll go back, but we gotta find a crowbar or something so we can break open that barn door.
Okay, let's go. You boys
Yeah, I
stay
think
here
I
now, watch the
mistakenly
trucks. Waste anyone who gets within 100
mentioned
yards.
that was a
Besides
hut
us, of
instead of
course.
the barn. Obviously I was talking about the barn. So yeah, now we go back into the barn and we have to shoot certain guys. We already know the positions. So there's one guy when you come right in here on the right side, so we take the pump gun, crouch a little bit and shoot that guy in the beige coat. Then there's another guy, just hide behind the boxes and kill him. Now in order to go up, I would recommend you to go reversely up, but hit the stairs. That would be really cool. And shoot that guy with a pump gun already. He's a threat. And now this guy, Paulie, do not block. Wow. And kill that guy. There is a medikit out there, as you can see on the left. We do not need to pick it up with 85. So now you just go ahead of this barn and wait for Paulie to come back with a crowbar to smash that door. And the game will be saved, so progress is already saved here. No need to do that whole part again. I would recommend to use the Colt right here because it's a fast shooting weapon, especially with the rapid fire glitch. And we want to shoot the guy on the top because he will snipe us. So shoot that guy or try to shoot him. I do a horrible job there. Then use the pump gun to kill that pump gunner. And now this guy. Oh, 26 HP, that's really bad. And now there is one guy hiding somewhere here. You need to kill him. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Kill him. Take the medikit in my opinion. In my case, you could have started reloading in advance to pick up the medikit, because reloading and the medikit animation work together quite nicely. So you can do both things at the same time.
Still in one piece?
Just in the wrong place at the wrong time again, I guess.
And you all?
Probably not too good.
Okay, hang on. I'll get the truck. We'll get you to the doctor. You'll make it. Sam, Tom, wait here with him. I'll be back in a second.
It'll be okay, Sam. We've gotten through worse.
Sure. We have.
Alright, so let's get down. There will some gangsters appear here. with cop cars. You just try to shoot the cop cars using your pump gun and the rapid fire glitch. Just smash at the grill. And you're done with them. You can shoot the engine as well. Somewhere near there. Just snipe those rest gangsters. Remaining gangsters. Take the medikit. And with 83 HP we're good to be set. The car behind us will honk, although there's nobody left. Now just run towards Paulie. Those bad guys spawn, but you don't care about them because the next part of the mission will trigger. And this part is a very famous one in speedrunners circles. The chase. You want to shoot either the driver, the guy shooting you, or the engine to make the car blow up. So I tried to shoot the driver and it worked perfectly fine, but you need to practice this part. It's really tricky and sometimes they will overtake you no matter what you're doing, and then the mission's failed. Or no cars will spawn and then you're just driving for 2 minutes and the mission is done as well. So as you can see, that car drifted, which is quite bad because that's already a time loss, but nothing you can do. So I'm just trying to shoot the engine from far. Okay, got the driver. No, I didn't get the driver. Oh, got the driver. And reload after you take one car out at a time. You don't want to have like remaining 12 shots. It's not really worth it. You don't have to like save those bullets. You will lose the Thompson anyways. So now the last car is coming up and he drifted a little bit as well. So yeah, you just have to take out 3 cars and then this part is over. So now I'm just deciding to blow up the engine, and as you can see, that's it. So you successfully managed to get through that part, and you're back at the warehouse. The only problem is the bolt thrower has disappeared. We do not have a reason why the bolt thrower disappears. You only have the bolt V8 anymore, but that's how the game is. And we're gonna back to Salieri's bar. Nothing too special. You do not really want to trigger cops here though. With the Bolt V8 it's a little bit tricky to lose them. You can lose them, but in this part where it's a little bit hilly, it could be some sort of a problem. As you can see, there was a car on the radar. On the right there's actually a Leicester V16 police car. You'll see when you do the Lucas Bertone mission, there is a way to actually get that car, but since it won't be saved at Salieri's bar, it doesn't really matter to pick it up, especially not on Speedrunner's site. And it's a time loss anyways to get it in the first place. You have to pretty much use the wall clip glitch to get inside. So first pick up a 4-seater, or at least a car and jump over the fence. I think that's over the wall. That's alright as well, but doesn't matter too much. And beware of a tram that likes to come by here in a lot of missions. So yeah, and you're done with a trip to the country. Now Omerta. So let's start just by going out, of course, and triggering Ralphie, who's just fixing a car here. As you can see, the Bolt Model B. Then after you started talking to him, go straight to Vincenzo, get the guns you need.
Well, Vince,
There is a
I guess you know
possibility
why
for
I'm here.
Vincenzo to get stuck.
Right.
That means he does an animation, then he gets stuck behind his chair. Then you pretty much have to reload. There is no way to fix that.
What do you got for me?
It only happened to me once, so I don't know what causes that. But there has to be some way.
A Colt
That it
1911
happens.
should be enough, but here's a sawed-off as well.
So you get the Lupara, the sawed-off shotgun, and the Colt 1911 for that
When
mission.
they find someone shot by
No
one of these
baseball bat,
bigs,
unfortunately.
Everyone knows the deal. Unfortunately, this is the perfect situation to use it. It's got a short range, but it covers a lot of real estate. You can't miss.
I never thought that I'd meet with Sicilian tradition like this.
And then just pick up all the weapons, mashing right mouse button and numeric keys, as always. Hide the guns by H. Say hello to Ralphie so that he starts unlocking the car and goes straight to the bolt thrower. And you can pretty much drive away. But you need to wait for the message to pop up, thanks Ralphie, and starting to fade out. To get out of Salieri's bar, otherwise it won't work.
Thanks, Rob.
And then Tommy's gonna ask, oh, does Ralphie have something for me or something? I don't know the correct statement. I didn't hear it for a long time. So yeah, first of all, we gotta visit Big Biff in Chinatown. So let's go to Chinatown. You do not want to trigger cop cars right now. Officers are alright, but cop cars, try to avoid it. And I would suggest for you to do like some sort of U-turn in front of Big Biff. So you're actually facing towards going back.
Greetings from Mr. Salieri.
You just started talking to him, he says his first phrase and just you can already drive away. You do not have to wait for him. And now you go to Central Island. It's pretty much the spot where the last mission starts, so it's near the gallery. Spoiler alert. And the good thing about the stretch in Central Island is that you can pretty much go full throttle if you use the reverse camera. Since it's a straight line, nothing can really happen. In the tunnel, using the reverse camera always is kind of tricky. Beware of the white line, that can actually flip you if you're driving over it. It's really weird. So yeah, as soon as you're on the straight line, just use reverse camera. And check the radar if something ahead of you didn't spawn. Yeah, as soon as you're in the parking lot, turn left and you're at the gallery. I would recommend to do a U-turn again, and there's a cop car, that's why I use the speed limiter. And Tony is a little bit different than Biff. You have to wait until he says, "Hi there, Tom," or "Hey there, Tom," I think it's the phrase. Exactly, when he starts to say that, just get back into the bolt thrower and drive away. And you need to drive to the Giuliano Bridge, or basically towards Lucas Bertone, if you remember the way. That's pretty much exactly the way I'm gonna take right now. And of course we exploit the straight line here for the reverse camera. And at the Giuliano Bridge, oh nice. Another spin, as you can see. Just stick to the right side of the bridge. Stick to the right side of the bridge. Cops do not matter too much, since we're gonna use a trick. So stick to the right side of the bridge, then do a U-turn, just like you would do when you go to Lucas Bertone. And beware if the game isn't saving right now, but you just want to get out a Colt and shoot that guy. Do not shoot the head of this guy. As soon as the gun is and the game is saved, reload the City 2 save. And because I already shot Joe, the idiot, I can straight go to Oakwood. Otherwise you have to shoot him again. But the point is, you don't get chased by the cops anymore when you reload a save game. That's something you can exploit in this game really well. And don't feel bad about that. Cops are horrible.
Next time, get to the point a bit earlier.
So yeah, just stick to the right. And go this road, but beware to not accelerate too much and crash into the phone booth you will see right now. If you do that, you just get, I don't know, launched into
Jesus,
space.
that's close. They must be
Happened
worried
to me
about
once.
Frank if they're driving
I wouldn't
around in a
recommend it.
number-plated car.
It's
Oh,
gonna
I'll
kill you,
follow
and you
them
have
and
to
see
do
where
that
they're
whole
headed.
part from Joe again. So yeah, you don't have to chase or follow Frank with his gangster colleagues. You can just go ahead to the airport. It's not like with Don Morello or Sergio Morello that you can lose him. So that's what we are going to exploit right now. Just going ahead. And you could think about already preparing the Colt by just selecting it in the car using your mouse wheel. Because it is kind of a time save later at the airport, since you can shoot a gangster coming out. And I always tend to forget it. Well, yeah, as you can see, Frank is nowhere near to us. And we still didn't get the lost message. And I'm doing what I can do best, I guess. So yeah, of course, use K to honk. There's the cop car. Doesn't matter. So just slam into the airport. You don't have to worry about a crash. And now it is good to have the Colt prepared, because there's one guy that likes to get stuck in the door or in the opening, as you can see. You could have shot him, but as you can see, I failed miserably. So I'm just opening the third door and shoot the guy with the Thompson first on the left side. Oh, there's one guy. Okay, I'm just shooting those two guys beforehand. And you can see on the left where the medikit is, there's a Thompson guy. Okay, I got him. Got him. Take the sawed-off shotgun and shoot the last guy. Now Frank is triggered. If you need the medikit, use the medikit. I think it gets you like 50 HP. I'm gonna take the Thompson. You should take the Thompson as well and start sniping those beige coated gangsters, because they do have Thompsons. You need the ammunition. And the more you kill right now, the less you have to kill later. But yeah, you have to stop this truck. You don't want to wait until he gets to the second hangar. So steal the truck from this man and go. It's the safest route, because there are some gangsters here, and we don't want to waste our time shooting them. You can take this route instead of another one, because if your tires are flat, it's difficult. You want to drive over this dude, if possible. I failed. It's not as easy as it may sound. So be prepared to shoot him. He has a Thompson, obviously, as everyone. Kill the other guy with the Thompson. Take his ammunition, because we're pretty short on ammunition. And trigger the Frank scene. Sometimes it's freezing, or I don't know, it just doesn't trigger at all. And then you have to wait for a longer time. In this case, just shoot those guys, and I literally got sniped in the face. Not too bad, but you should take your time. Beware of a sniper that is around here. Kill this guy in the phone booth to not trigger the cops. Talk to her and go back. You can throw away the sawed-off shotgun here if you want to,
He's here.
but you do not have
I'll
to.
be right back.
But it makes sense because if you're in the town and the bank collecting the documents, the cops can spot you, and you don't want to trigger the cops there because otherwise you can't trigger the mission. So throw away the sawed off. It's unnecessary. You could have picked up the medikit at Frank's wife as well. I didn't do that, although I only have 26 HP. So went kind of a risk. There's one on the right. As you can see here, there's the medikit. And you don't really want to kill one of those guys in the couple. Really bad. And there's a sniper, as you can see there on that tower, on that platform. You can try to shoot him, but I do not spend my time to shoot that guy. He never killed me. He killed Artset though. Kappa Klappa. And as you can see, my tire is popped, so you can always consider to take the Falcona that is parking there instead of the truck if you have a popped tire. I didn't notice that I have a popped tire, so I'm gonna stick to the truck, which is going to be the strat I use in the majority of attempts. I think I only used the Falcona once. And use, of course, the handbrake to do some sort of U-turn. Get into the airport's main building and take the tickets from the desk. There we go. Tickets collected. And go back to Frank. I leave some sort of a huge gap between me and that plane because Mafia's hitboxes aren't really consistent. You may get stuck there. So yeah, that was kind of a bad U-turn. Way too far away from Frank and his family, but doesn't matter. Skip the cutscene, get into the truck, and now just go straight on, because we'll get to our bolt throw again and drive back home. Well, not really back home, but to the bank to collect documents. Frank would have given the police, or somebody. I don't know. Because they were gangsters, cops, whatever. And that's the only way. You cannot get your car to that parking lot from the airport, from the landing strip or something. There's just no way to do that. There's a way in the Crème de la Crème if you use the airport strats, but we won't use them. So yeah, now you're here. Use the reverse camera or just honk your way through. Or do both. There's a cop car. I'm gonna go for the safe strats here. As you can see, speed limiter was turned on. F5 is the hotkey, but I'm pretty sure you already know that. And there's another cop car, nice. So we're just gonna get slowly to the bank, which is right here. Do some kind of a U-turn as well. Oh, I'm using speed limiter because I'm scared of the cops. And then just get into the bank. If the cops are following you actively, you cannot trigger this part. So try to lose the cops. If you kill them, it's pretty much GG because everybody will come by with pump guns. Police density here is pretty high. At least that was my experience here. So yeah, we're done with the mission. Now it's just going back to Salieri, so you don't have to pay attention to the cops. You can always use the back door entrance at Salieri's bar. And I'm gonna use this strat again, not the shortcut through the boxes. This way, or this method of going to the tunnel is slightly faster than using the shortcut. But in a long-term speedrun, you can always save some time here and there. And if you like to do it the other way, then there is no problem of doing that. And beware of the sidewalk. As you can see, only a light jump, but could be like a huge flip. And nobody's following us, so you can just get to Sawyer's Bar. And I did a really horrible job at parking here, so I have to go around. And we're at visiting rich people. Salvatore Hype. In this mission you don't have to talk to Ralphie, you just get the Colt and the baseball bat from Vinny.
Good evening, Vincenzo. Tonight I'm doing a little burglary, so I need something for a quiet little job.
Tommy, a good old bat would do the trick. When you hit someone over the head from behind, they should be out cold for a while. To be on the safe side, take this here Colt 1911 too. I'll keep my fingers crossed, Tommy.
Thanks, Vincenzo.
So yeah, just pick up the goodies. And of course use the bolt thrower. And just drive outside. So now we're ought to pick up Salvatore from the corner next to the station in Hoboken, a stadium in Hoboken. We are just gonna take the same route you already seen in A Trip to the Country. The bridge near Chinatown, or the Terra Nova Bridge as it's called in the map. Although you can't really see the names of the bridges on the map. I think the PS2 and Xbox version deliver a more detailed map when it comes to names. But you'll see right now which bridge I'm talking about. You don't want to have cops chasing you in this mission, especially not when you're picking up Salvatore, because they can be a little bit annoying and drag you out, which is always bad. And then Salvatore gets out of the car as well, and you know, it's like cat and mouse match, and you don't want to have that. So yeah, full throttle for the bridge. Pay attention, there is a little, as you can see, a little turn. You can just go ahead, you can flip when you're getting onto that green area. You can't really call it grass or something. And it's not really modeled that well. But hey, it's 2002. So it's pretty much the same route as you can see. As to Salieri's warehouse. You can shorten a little bit here and there. Oh, the cops are chasing me, but I will lose them, or it doesn't really matter, it's just an officer. And here is Salvatore waiting for you. Just do a U-turn and use the horn to get him into your car.
Evening, Chief. Let's get moving.
Great. So where are we going?
As you can see, Tommy doesn't know where to go.
So, you can open any safe in the country, right?
Almost every one, Chief.
And how did you learn that trick?
My grandpa was in a business. It's inherited. The safes keep getting better, so
Yeah,
a fella has to
break
keep
here
up with the
in the
times.
second to last road.
Some
I
of the
nearly
safes around
missed
these
it.
days are pretty tricky.
Just take it and then just go ahead. You have to brake a little bit at the end of the road because we're gonna break through to shorten a little bit. And if you don't, there's sidewalk mechanics, you can flip. Here we have cops, but we're going uphill, and the bolt thrower will own pretty much every car that is here in this era, so you don't have to worry about the cops chasing you down here. They will drive around 30 miles an hour, and we're around about 58, 9, around about 60 miles, so there's no way they're gonna catch us. And as you can see, we lost them. But now we come into something really interesting. We don't do the mission like we did in the past with some sort of sneaky Sam Fisher strats or snake strats, whatever game you prefer. We're gonna brake near the gate
Okay, we're
and
here.
come to a full stop. Then of course you'll get out, wait for Salvatore to get out of the car, and perfectly go around, because otherwise he may be stuck and do some horrible
You open it,
pathfinding.
Salvatore?
I'll try, Chief.
So yeah, we want him to open the gate. What he does with his skills he described a couple of seconds beforehand. So you want to position yourself really diagonally. Look at that, I'm really facing somewhere else, and just mash right mouse button all the time. And boom, there's the car inside of the mansion. It's pretty much straightened. You don't have to do anything anymore. So just accelerate, brake a little bit here, you can flip, take the left, go around there, and now pretty much do a mirrored parking as you did in the wall clip and Better Get Used to It. So yeah, a backslash, if you want to call it like that. Talk with Salvatore so that he goes to the door and doesn't go around the car, which is possible. Start up the engine, get out. You can be spotted by those guards, so have an eye on them. Then just go ahead, take the left, just follow the staircase, go straight through the hall, the main hall of this mansion, and there are the documents in the safe. There may be something like, oh, where's that guy Salvatore, but just wait it out and pick up the documents, you can forget it. Now hear what they're shooting. And if they are shooting, but still, well, prepare the cold if you hear them shooting. There could be somebody with a pump gun there, but most likely only those two guys are coming out. And just try to shoot him. Get into the car. Hopefully Salvatore follows as well. And you can go. Beware to not kill the politician, as you can see lying on the floor. And now you can pretty much go full throttle against the gate, doesn't matter. Since you're not really getting hurt at all. As you can see, the health state is still the same as it was before crashing. So the crash has absolutely no impact on the game whatsoever. And we're just going home. I will show later an alternative strat on how to do the mention part safely. But it is only recommended if you can't get the car strats to work, since it's a time loss. You'll get the silver fletcher instead. But maybe you want to get the silver fletcher anyways. So yeah. Okay, as you can see, I'm flipping a little bit. Well, not flipping, but drifting and sliding all over the place. So use the guarding rail to guard you. Or to guide you, more likely. I would recommend just to go this way a little bit and then shorten by using the sidewalk. Beware of cops though, so reverse camera is the neat trick here. And officers can make life hell as well, so I would recommend to use this speed limiter here and that area. And as soon as you get to the destination, just brake and wait for Salvatore to get out. Took a long time here. Usually it's about a second, but we're about 3 seconds here. And you really feel the time already running through as a speedrunner. But yeah, as you can see, the mission wasn't too difficult. It's a little bit tricky when those guys are coming haunting you after you were spotted. Now you don't have to do this. That's something you would do in Freeride Extreme if you take that race car with vision distortion. Doesn't make sense here. But yeah, there could be some guards with pump guns just waiting for you when you go down the staircase, so you really have to be cautious. For example, other runners like Artstar used to park their car not like a backslash, but more likely like a minus, so pretty much orthogonal to the wall of the house, or the mansion more likely. I do not know if that strat is really the key or the best solution. I'm sticking to mine. It worked all the time, so I had to present that one. So yeah, just driving back to Salieri. Beware of flipping here, as you can see. It had to happen at some point, even in this practice run. So we're just reversing to Salieri's bar. You can be caught by the cops as well for speeding when you're reversing with the bolt thrower. So, some arbitrary fact here. And now we go to another strat. You just go by foot, so no mouse button. You can already trigger the energy blackout or just punch him with a baseball bat. Pretty much stealth kill him. Turn off the lights. Then just go ahead till you see that little crossroad junction, whatever. Crouch, because there's that one lady that spots you immediately when you're just standing upright, and then she's causing all the guards to follow you, to chase you. It's gonna be horrible. So when he goes down and runs away, you can just stand upright again and go. The lights have been turned off in the mansion, so just go into the mansion. Prepare the baseball bat already, because you need to get rid of the lady with a stealth kill. Then just go right and up the stairs, and as you can see, you get to the office no matter what. And now you pretty much take the same route again, with the little difference that you're not gonna head out with the front exit, but you're more likely going to do another way. You just go into that room you can see there on the right. You're crouching to not be caught by that guy with a pump gun, who just, as you can see, walks outside. Then you just smash that window with the baseball bat. You climb, smash the other half, and then you just go out. That guy with the pump gun doesn't notice you, so you can just go to the silver flasher, wait for Salvatore, and click on the door for Salvatore to unlock the car, the silver flasher. So we unlock the car, just get in the front. Wait for Salvatore to do the same. And yeah, you can go out. He will start shooting most of the times right now, the pump gunner you have seen, but that doesn't matter anymore. We're already done with this mission. And now, if you're just gonna, crash into the gate, the game really knows what you did there. That was intended. So you spawn with the silver flasher outside. But now, back to a great deal. We're in the parking lot. Just jump up the stairs. Already prepared the Thompson. Trigger the cutscene and instantaneously turn yourself and shoot the engines of the cars. Of both of the cars. Maybe you kill Bill Gates like I did right now. And then just stand upright and kill the other gangsters. You need to kill everyone on that floor for this gangster car to appear. Just use rapid fire glitch. If it happens, it works. To shoot the other engine, reload, get some more ammo, and now kill the bad guy there. That's a barrel you can shoot. So that's always a good idea to do that. Sometimes there's a guy just running upwards. He's not really shooting you, he will punch you. I think there he was. But you're gonna shoot that guy there next to the car with the pump gun. After you kill him, there's a box with grenades lying on the floor. Just pick up 3. You'll need 3. You can pick up more if you want to, but 3 is good enough. Then just use a grenade, charge a throw, and throw it there in the space, pretty much in direction of the car that is parking there, to kill all the guys. Maybe there's one guy surviving that attack. Kill him. Then charge another grenade throw and deflect it pretty much from the wall down the staircase. Charge another throw, and as soon as that other one exploded, just throw the grenade down there, as you can see, to the other cars. Run backwards because there's a grenade lying on the staircase sometimes, and you need to shoot the rest. As you can see, it worked out for me, but sometimes you can just shoot that barrel, as you can see that yellow barrel over there. If somebody survived, just shoot that barrel and they'll die. And of course you can blow up the cars blocking the road like that. And exploded cars are easier to, move away or push aside. So that's definitely the right choice to do. Let's take a little bit more ammo, so we're set if the gangsters are following us. and get back to the Bold Model B pickup with all the goodies and escape the parking lot. Simple as that. So now, just turn straight left. You may get popped tires. Well, those guys will shoot you, so they may pop a tire or two. Then reload. It's not a big time loss. You don't want to crash somewhere, so just try to not crash anywhere and follow this road. Turn right to face the Giuliano Bridge, and then just accelerate, full throttle. You do not really care about the cops, well, slightly you do, but we won't. The music will stop as soon as you have a certain lead over the gangsters. As you can see, I wanted to brake, but in the end I thought, why not? We're gonna go downhill, so we will accelerate a little bit. You can really, of course, use the reverse camera for the last stretch. And we're driving to Salieri's warehouse. Do not, I repeat, do not use the shortcut you have seen in Running Man or Ordinary Routine. That means that shortcut that's just ahead of us. Do not do that, because you will destroy the goods, pretty much the bottles of whiskey you have loaded with the crates on the truck. And I will instantaneously fail the mission. So just go this way, the standard way, to the warehouse. Okay, I believe, I don't know if the cops are following us or the gangsters, we'll see later. Okay, do not crash into anybody. We want to be as fast as possible. And we arrived at the warehouse. So just get out. And as you can see, nobody followed us, so we need to... Oh, there are the gangsters. Just shoot their engine to make the car blow up. And there's Sam. Okay, we did it. So that was a great deal. Bon appétit. This mission. It's one of the more difficult missions in the game, and you can't really calculate it by, oh, that guy is always using that, or that guy is doing this. It's really, really difficult to predict. So we'll take the Terra Nova Bridge again, Chinatown, and to Newark, to the hospital.
Chef. Whenever I feel like a specialty from back home, I go to him.
And one thing, you do not want to trigger the cops at all in this mission. Just use the speed limiter. That's my advice, because if you trigger the cops and you get into incognito mode as soon as you arrive at Pepe's restaurant, pretty much you, for example, get out of the car and so the mission triggers, the game is very likely to crash, especially in 1.0 version, which is nothing new, but it happens consistently. So just do not trigger the cops at all. Use reverse camera to avoid the cop spawns, and besides, just use the speed limiter. You can shorten up the wait a little bit by turning right here. And just go down through that park. It's my recommended route to go to Pepe's restaurant. And you can see the police officer, you have to pay attention to everyone. And we arrived at Pepe's restaurant. Okay, so just go outside, shoot that guy in the alley with the Thompson, using rapid fire for example. Take his Thompson, go back, and there's a door on the left side. Just open it, but beware, there could be like tons of bad guys already just waiting for you. And you want to get a Thompson, obviously. And if they are not dead, you have to shoot them, otherwise they will block your path. Like this guy does for me right now. So just shoot, 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 and hope for the best. There's no real recipe for this mission. And then when you're done with all the guys, just go upstairs and look for that Thompson guy. Kill him, take a couple of Thompsons for ammunition, and you've done with Bon Appetit. In my opinion, yeah, one of the most difficult missions in the game. So now my HP count has dropped because I had to retake that part in the restaurant a couple of times, and then my game crashed, so I had to redo it, and it was a horrible attempt. So I kept the old one in and used the new footage here. So here I wouldn't recommend to you get the cops chasing you, but you can lose them, so it's not too big of a deal. That guy Carlo, who set us up, is living in a Little Italy, next to the bridge. We used a couple of times to get to Central Island, so we're gonna go back home. As you can see, Salieri is not very amused, but still has a small smile for us to make this a better day. Okay, I nearly crashed into the wall. As you can see, there are cops, but I'm just going to YOLO. Because I know I'm confident in my driving skills with the Lassiter, and you feel the weight of the Lassiter, trust me. It's just like with that car in the Priest chase or escape. Of course, sidewalks can still flip you or cause much trouble. And we lost the cops, obviously. Always use down or brake and the handbrake to brake, unless you use the secondary setup. Especially with a heavy car like the Lassiter. Here you don't want to trigger any cops, so use the speed limiter for safety. And then just park here. And go to the doors. Reload your Thompson in case you don't have full ammo. I have full ammo. So we wait for Salieri to get up. Trigger this part of the mission just by kicking out the door, going on the balcony, and just spray with the Thompson towards Carlo, and you will hit him. Just spray. And kill the other guys. That's it.
Shut up, lady, or you're next.
Now, happy birthday. As you can see, you can jump down the stairs instantly just by going straight and jumping down. You won't lose any HP. If you do it a little bit on the side, then it does not work.
Here we go again, Ralphie.
And here is a little problem, a little inconsistency compared to other Mafia missions. You have to wait for Ralphie to sit on the box in order to exit from Salieri's bar. It's really weird, but that's just how it works. So, you can wait for him to show you how to unlock this Crusader Chromium. And as soon as he starts unlocking, you can already go into the bolt thrower, start up, and drive a bit.
Yeah, great, Ralphie.
But have an eye on Ralphie, because he needs to sit on the box. And as soon as he sits on the box, you can exit Salieri's bar. And the engine will stall. That's happening all the time. And yeah, back in the days we used to use the bridge here, but nowadays we take the tunnel because it's faster. By going the straight line, you can gain a lot of speed and momentum. So yeah, reverse camera in the tunnel is not recommended, but try to do that. The white line, always a killer. And then just go full throttle. Nothing to be added this far. And of course I'm going to spin. And thank you for yet another spin. And then just park the car, not as horribly as I did right now. And you want to dress yourself as a sailor, so you have to get some clothes for it. They are hidden here. Will take around about 5 seconds. And then just go up. Go to this guy, to the god. We don't have any weapons. And then just go inside. So yeah, you want to punch the first waiter you can see. There we go. We triggered all the guards. So you can use this way or go around it. The opposite direction. As you can see, the 2 guards are just waiting for me to scram myself. Not really that great. The opposite way would have been better, probably. And I'll just punch the guy through the door. That's what I call a nice birthday present, isn't it? There we go, escape. And now we just go down. Go through this part of the ship. Go another level down. And there is our guy waiting for us in the boat. And we just mash right mouse button to get to. And that's it. That's Happy Birthday, one of the easiest missions in the speedrun. And now comes one of the most annoying missions in the speedrun, which is Lucky Bastard. Just for pure information, I had to retake this mission a lot of times, because it never worked for me in this tutorial run. I don't know why. Especially the Sergio part later. But that's gonna be a long time till we get there. So yeah, you need to go to Vincenzo first. You don't need to talk to Ralphie, because Ralphie gets triggered by Paulie this time, and not by the player Tommy. So he will get a Thompson, and we're getting a freaking Colt 1911. Obviously, best weapon. It's a great weapon with the rapid fire glitch though. So yeah, you can pretty much start up the bolt thrower. And go really close to Ralphie, because you need to be near him to trigger the next cutscene where he shows you how to unlock. I think it's a Gordon Terraplane. Great car.
Hey, Ralphie, you need a car. Hey, I have a new
Yeah, it's a Terraplane.
It's decent and real big.
You like it, Paulie, so why don't you show him how to unlock the car? So as you can see, I'm pushing towards the car.
New type of lock.
As soon as he starts unlocking,
It's clever, it ain't no problem to open it.
I'm going to reverse and pretty much
Nice and easy.
park like that so that Paulie can enter easily.
And quick.
Can fiddle around a little bit. Great! So yeah, let's go. He will need some time to get into. But there we go, now we have Paulie on board. And let's start Lucky Bastard. So first stop is the Italian Garden Restaurant. The first attempt to assassinate Sergio Morello. As you might hear in my voice, it's not gonna be the last. But that's pretty obvious since the mission's called Lucky Bastard. And one thing, you don't want to trigger cops in this mission. That's rule number 1. You don't want to trigger cops in this mission. If so, lose them. Here, just go speed limiter to the phone booth. Do not crash into the phone booth or the mission's over. And I'm talking about that one ahead of us. So do a U-turn.
Here we are. Stop right here, Tom.
Reverse a little bit. So you're pretty much heading in the opposite direction. Get out of the car. Wait a little bit. Get into the car again. Start up the engine. Get out of the car. And Paulie should normally already start talking, but he didn't for me. Weirdly. So just get into the phone booth and mash right mouse button, so you trigger the cutscene. And then just re-enter your car, as a driver obviously. Wait for Paulie to do the same, he will skip the animation like that. And try to lose the gangsters chasing you. try to make them crash somewhere. For example, into that Garden Terraplane or Crusader Chromium, whatever it was. It worked for me. Cops are irrelevant in this part. Every single time when you go back to Salieri's bar, you don't have to worry about cops. You can always use the back door strats. Yeah, beware of the sidewalk. I think I mentioned it in every single mission right now, and I won't stop doing that. So yeah, there's no cop near us, we're not wanted, so even if a cop sees us right now, he won't spot us. Incognito mode, as you can see. So yeah, back to Salieri's bar. Do not forget to pick up the explosives right now. They are on the desk, just pick them up, because otherwise Tommy will tell you, oh, he forgot something when you try to exit Salieri's bar. Obvious card choice is the bold ace. Unfortunately, it isn't there, so we have to use the second best option, which is the bolt thrower. And now we're driving to Morello's house in Oakwood and place a bomb under his car or on his car. Of course, this attempt is going to fail as well. What else to expect when you have professionals doing the work? And the way is similar to... well, you can't really compare it to anything. You're just going tunnel and the Giuliano Bridge. You can use both drawbridges as well. It's gonna be slightly faster, I think, by like 4 to 5 seconds. But the problem is they can be up and you're gonna end up losing way more time. So it is not the greatest option. So just take that way. Of course, do not forget about the reverse camera. And turn right exactly here. On the last junction you can actually go. Do not trigger cops here. They can be a pest. So use the speed limiter. And then use a shortcut next to the gas station by just going downhill here. It's a little shortcut but leads directly pretty much to the girlfriend's or Morello's house. And here you don't want to trigger cops as well.
There it is. Let's have a look.
So just park, and one advice. Do not shoot the guard in front of Morello's house. Because if you do so, he will escape and the mission is failed. So better just, you know, lure in the forest, I would have said. But it's just a freaking tree. You can climb on cars in the meantime. Just let him finish his cigarette or cigar. Who knows? And just look at him. Wait a little bit. Use the brake, for example, to stretch your arms, your legs. To relax a little bit. You still have a difficult part ahead of you, but you already did a lot of things in the Mafia speedrun. So do not do that as soon as he gets in, as soon as he closes the door. There we go. Now you can trigger that cutscene, because otherwise you can soft lock the game yet again. And you're stuck in a cutscene, they will shoot you, but you can't die in cutscenes, and really, really awkward. So just to run away, doesn't matter. A cutscene will trigger and you can just skip through it, and you'll end up in the bolt throw again. Next up, Rainbow Garden Restaurant with Paulie, our lovely sidekick. Really important guy. So that's pretty much the same route you have seen with the gas station, only a little difference at the very end. You'll see in a couple of seconds, or let's say in a minute. That's kind of funny that I didn't get spotted by the cop. So I'm using second gear manual strats again, going uphill. Classic strats here. And reverse camera, obviously. So we have the handcuffs, doesn't matter too much. And there's the last junction. Of course we're gonna go right. And then instead of using that little shortcut near the gas station, we're gonna turn right directly. There we go, we fit through and we get on this road. And that is pretty much the road we have to get into to finally arrive at the Rainbow Garden restaurant. Reverse camera, go a little bit full throttle, but you have to pay attention. Pedestrians still spawn, so do cops or officers. So just use the speed limiter for the last meters. Get to this, the cutscene triggers, and one advice, do not reverse here. Reversing is slower, just go ahead and turn. So yeah, now you have to lose the gangsters. And there is a chance that drawbridge ahead of us is going to be up. If so, you're just gonna turn right and use a similar route we've been driving to the Hotel Corleone in the mission The Whore. So just check that video again if you don't know the route anymore. But if that bridge is gonna be down, you can go this route. You can gamble on the next drawbridge to the worst border or Little Italy by just going this road straight till the end and just turn right, and then you are pretty much on the bridge. But I won't do that, I will go the consistent route and take the tunnel. So now we've done 3 assassination attempts and all 3 of them failed. That's really professional. So 1 round of applause for Polly and Tom. Especially that one attempt right now with a jammed Thompson. Like, wow. Please, Polly. And the worst part is ahead of us, so... damn. And you see that invisible wall? Well, I didn't see it as well, so... really, really good. Sometimes invisible walls appear. That's normal in the Mafia series. You can see that in Mafia 2 as well. So yeah, now we're chasing Sergio Morello with a Guardian Terraplane Coupe. As you spot, this car is horribly slow. I would prefer a Bold Ace pickup instead of this car to do the mission. So yeah, now we gotta chase Sergio Morello, and you can lose him. There were rumors that you cannot lose Sergio Morello. Do not believe those rumors. If you're too far behind, you lose him. If you're too far ahead, which can possibly happen, you're gonna lose him and fail the mission. You shouldn't pay too much to the cops since you need to chase Sergio Morello. And Sergio can get stuck everywhere. And if he gets stuck and you can't help him by crashing him somewhere out, then it's curtains, you have to reload. And beware, when he's honking, everybody moves aside by a lot. So that's something you have to keep in mind. And as you can see the cop car, Sergio tried to evade it. And now the lamppost, classic lamppost with Sergio, as you can see. No problem. And now we're going uphill the bridge. The bridge is going to be down. That's one certainty in this mission. Or at least in this segment. As you can see, I'm wanted right now. Doesn't matter for this mission. Important fact, Sergio, if there is a lot of traffic, can already turn left here into that little road. Oh my god, please. That car. And then you have to chase him. If you just go straight, you lose him and the mission's failed. So pay attention to where Sergio is actually driving, or at least his driver is driving. And now, as soon as we arrive at the harbor, you'll hear some sort of window closing sound most of the times. just get into the car and drive away. You don't want to get into a battle with those guys, they'll pop most of the tires. And take this route, just go straight right. It's a route I'm gonna use, or I'm using, for not too long of a time. And there's only one reason to do it, because you can shoot that barrel with the gas or whatever straight from the car with a drive-by, so you save a little bit of time, and it's a fancy strat obviously. Then just do a turn to the left. I did a turn to the right, which was obviously a wrong decision. And then just set the tracks, get the brakes. Now that little boy is moving and will crash into the gate of the hangar where Sergio is hiding, and you can make it explode so that you can get into the hangar. And now there are a couple of strats to do. Reload the gun, get out of the car, start up the car if you're gonna use car strats. I will show you a variety of strats on how to do that mission. And trigger the cutscene. So first strat I'm gonna show you is how to just knock Sergio over. It's a possibility, it's very difficult, pretty much a multi-segment strat. But if you manage to pull it off, it's a really cool trick. Just look at it. Boosh. You can drift into him by using the handbrake, that's my recommended strat to do. And it works like, I would estimate, like 3 out of 8 tries it is going to work. But yeah, 5 out of 8 it will fail. So if you're really risking something, or you see your time is not too great and you want to save that little extra time, go for this strat. And then pretty much take the route you took before, and you've done Lucky Bastard. As soon as you get out of the harbor, your car gets fixed, so even if you have all tires popped up, it's gonna be great again. But I will show you other strats. For example, the car strat. So using the car and shoot Morello with a drive-by. So you can see we just go in, and as soon as you see Morello, just shoot him with the gun. Press left mouse button all the time. Try to shoot his head, and I got blown up. That can happen. That can happen all the time, to be quite honest. And I literally failed on reloading the save game. So let's do the car strats once more. Hopefully it works this time. And every strat has a payoff, as you can see. It's not really that easy to do. You have all those pump gunners here. Try to shoot him. As I said, try to shoot his head. And that was a really clean kill in my opinion. Now just crash into that wall by reversing. And you'll be have a really easy exit, in my opinion, than just reversing, going forward, reversing and doing all that stuff. And then you can just get out. Or you do a third strat. That's pretty much what I call Rambo strats. My recommendation is to pick up that Thompson already. There's a Thompson lying down. A guy left it that we killed by accident by shooting into that gas tank. And you use the Thompson to kill everybody. You can use the Colt 1911 with the rapid fire glitch as well. That's an alternative. So shoot that guy and everyone that is in sight. Like, there are pump guns everywhere, so you have to really pay attention to what you're doing. Because pump gunners can react instantly and you're dead. There we go. And there is the last one. As soon as you killed all 4 guys, you can shoot Morello. And there we go. That's it. That's the 3 alternatives. You can choose the right one for you. Just the one you like. Oh, there was a guy. Let's shoot him. And that's it. That's the Sergio part of Lucky Bastard. Easy peasy. Cap. So let's get back into the last part. Let's drive to Salieri's bar. Obviously not that special anymore. So after doing this part, you have to feel relieved. At least I was when I was doing my first runs, since it's a really difficult part. Especially you can get your cars blown up every single attempt. You can try it 7 times, and 7 times somebody will just find the right shot to blow it up. And what the hell happened right now? Have you seen? I got the gun as the cop stayed right away. I only was speeding and got the gun. So that can happen as well, but I will lose the cops, so yeah, there we go. We're not getting wanted. That was kind of weird. As you can see, the game really finds new trolls just to make your life hell. And because I get chased by the cop, I'm just gonna use the backdoor strats, although I wouldn't have needed it, but yeah, just use it for safety. And now Crème de la Crème. Interesting mission. Especially with the strat you're using here in this mission. Back in the days you used a 4-seater just to hunt Don Morello down. And nowadays you don't have to do that anymore. So big shout out to Itsu for finding this out.
Vincenzo. Today we need
Of course we need to go to Vinny first, who will give us the right guns. That means we get a Lupara and both of our dumbasses are getting Thompsons. As you can see, there is one. Oh no, there are 2 Thompsons.
At the same time, we could stick to the ancient ways and use a more traditional Sicilian weapon for a job of this size.
And there we go. Let's take the sword off. We'll hopefully won't need it. So just take a random 4-seater that is ahead of you, like that Falconer here. We won't use the Falconer for this mission, but we just need to trigger it with a 4-seater. And now just reverse and pretty much use the same strat as in the whore to teleport outside the car. So place it between 2 cars, just exit it and you teleport it outside and get into the bolt thrower. So in order to get to the theater, you just have to go through the tunnel and you're pretty much there. You need to prepare a gun. The sort of is alright. Just have a gun selected with your mouse wheel. And as soon as you approach Morello, just use the left mouse button. It doesn't have to be a drive-by or something. You just have to activate a weapon. Basically just the button press to trigger Morello. Otherwise he will just drive normally. And that's not really the strategy you want to have, because it will prolong the mission for at least a minute. So yeah, see me press left mouse button. The music the music intensifies. And there we go. Morello is chasing us, although we should chase Morello, as the objective tells us. The problem is Morello pretty much crashes into everything. You really have to pay attention. He can get stuck everywhere. And you can't lose him. If you lose him, the game's over. So just break down to check if he's still chasing you. That's what I was doing here. So yeah, there we go. He can fall down the shortcut here as well, which is kind of funny. But he gets stuck, so you won't be able to lose him. If he's already on that stretch, you can go full throttle just towards the countryside, because he will try to get to the airport, as you might know, or to the bridge on the countryside. But we will get a different ending, that's for sure. Now brake a little bit, but do not spin in the loading screen. If you spin, you're pretty much doomed. So what you want to do is crash into Morello instantly. Use the handbrake as well, and try to, you know, lean towards Morello's car, and just let Paulie do the job. As you can see, sometimes this happens. But maybe our second attempt is gonna be the right one. Okay, that looks good. Come on, Paulie. And we did it. That's it. Do not kill Sam, who is just running here. And you did the mission without going to the airport. And it's way faster, obviously. Do not kill Sam again. And yeah, now we can go back to Salieri's bar. So a huge time save. You can't pull it off with a Lasseter V16 Phaeton you got from Fairplay, from Lucas. Or with the silver fletcher from Visiting Rich People, there were like old strats where we used those both cars to do the drive-by. It's really difficult and you have to crash him at the airport when he's trying to enter the airport, otherwise you have to reset. But I would recommend you guys to train or practice this drive-by method. It's way faster than just going to the airport. I think it's around about 2 minutes faster. So practicing that, or even doing 10 attempts there, is still faster than going to the airport. So don't worry too much at the beginning, and then you will do it in 1 or 2 attempts. So yeah, back at Salieri's bar. So, election campaign. Just ran out of Salieri's bar and talked to Ralphie. He's been hiding around the right here, so just stick to him and mash the right mouse button. At some point he will start talking, and then we can go to Vinny, where we'll get our sniper rifle and a handgun for our job. You can think about doing a Vinny first and Ralphie second. There isn't such a huge time loss, so it's personal preference. But I think you save a little bit, like a second.
I got hold of a Mosin Nagant rifle. It's produced here, but the Russians upgraded it to a monster.
Do not forget to have a sniper mode key set in the control and in the control options. Otherwise you will have a problem on the prison tower later.
You never know who you might bump into.
Ain't that the truth? Thanks.
So yeah, pick up all the guns, especially the sniper rifle. I think you cannot exit Salieri's bar if you haven't picked up the sniper rifle, but I'm not too sure. So yeah, go to Ralphie, see how he unlocks, and go straight to the bolt thrower.
Thanks, Ralphie.
In here it's a really short driving section, just drive through the tunnel again, beware of the sidewalk, and you're nearly there. Getting attention from any cops here is a little bit tricky. And one more thing, have you seen that Garden Terraplane, that beige car, brake when I was driving behind him? Many cars, if you just drive really fast behind them, they start to brake. So that's one fact you have to keep in mind, because you will crash into them. Alright, so you can see the police car coming out of the road. Speed limiter strats. So there's the prison. You want to park in front of the gate where it says County Jail. I'm just doing a 180. It is recommended to do that because it makes you a faster escape from the gangsters later. You don't have to do that, you can park normally. Say we just run in. You don't have to kill that guy. You can do that and hide his corpse down the sewer, but you don't have to do that. So just go down the ladder into the sewer. You will have 2 guys from Peter waiting for you. But that's not too big of a deal. There's a small AI manip you can do. They are pretty much useless. So yeah, we're climbing up the ladder again. And now the prison part starts. It's not the easiest part, especially because there are a lot of pump gunners. Well, I think only 2. But you have a room with like 4 bad guys. A small room. So it's a little bit tricky to pull off in the first place. If you want to YOLO here, you are very likely to die. But I will show you a little YOLO strat later. Just if you want to do some really risky strat. So yeah, just open up the gate. Do not kill anybody here. You don't have to. Just go up and prepare the Colt 1911. You need to rapid fire the first guy with the pump gun. Well, he's unarmed, but yeah. Just behind you is the guy with a knife. He can kill you from behind, stealth kill with one hit. And now use the Colt, in my opinion, to shoot all the guys. You can use the pump gun as well, but the Colt in rapid fire is basically the best solution if you don't want to waste too much HP. I dropped the Mosin Nagant. You can use the inventory menu to select the weapons to not drop the Mosin Nagant, because if you have the pump gun and the Mosin Nagant, you will drop one of them if you scroll through the menu. So kill the guy with the pump gun coming up. He's very dangerous. And now there is a medikit on the left side. Pick it up, you can reload and activate that animation. And then just run away with 100 HP, you're pretty much set. You don't have to kill the guy right here in the cage. Now just run and kill that guy here. You can pretty much YOLO those guys. You don't have to kill them, but I would take my time. This guy with the pump gun has to be killed. There is no way to not kill him. And now you're pretty much at the tower. Just select the Mosin Nagant, go into your sniper mode, and shoot the politician. Drop that gun, close it, and by closing you have to go a little bit to the behind. Now YOLO jump here. If you have more than 40 HP or 50, you can jump here. You will most likely lose 34. Kill the doggies and you're done. And here just shoot one of them and get into your car. As you can see, they are useless. They are not really hitting you. So that an AI manipulation trick works perfectly fine. But yeah, in order to close the door on the prison tower, you have to pretty much go near the wall and close it from diagonal behind. It's a really weird way to close the door, but you'll find it out with a little bit of practice. And then, as I said, if you have a high HP count, just YOLO jump. It's a really nice trick. I will show you another trick. If you don't have high HP, you have to solve the mission somehow. So you don't really need to jump there. You can use another trick. I'm going to show you as soon as I arrive at Salieri's bar, because I decided to cut that video like that. So yeah, no, just for relaxation. We're back at the prison tower. So yeah, close the door like I showed you right now. Kill the politician. And now, pretty much walk into the wall on the left. Walk into it as soon as you melt, and you can go down pretty much by melting inside of the wall. I can't really explain it better. And kill all the doggies, because they will kill you. So, rip Frankazy. And then shoot the lock here. You can't miss with the shotgun, right? And there we go. It's not too difficult. As you can see, there's a second solution if you need it. So now I will show you a little bit of an extra. You don't really have to do that. That's pretty much a YOLO strat. If you feel like, come on, I could save that little extra time, but I can potentially risk the entire run, or if you have enough time to save, why not show off a little bit? You can use these strats. In before the top speedrunners will use that strat constantly, Kappa. So yeah, don't kill anybody here. There is no need to. Now, just run ahead, prepare the Colt, as I showed you earlier. Kill this guy, pick up the Colt, and just aim down. Look down and just run. Run, 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 run. You will have like 50 HP. Go into the next room, kill those guys, especially that guy with the shotgun, who will wreck you otherwise. Get the shotgun, reload. Do not kill the guy in the cage. Snipe that guy on the stairs by running. Just go around those two guys. And the last guy with the pump gun obviously has to be shot. Take his pump gun just for security reasons. And you have 24 HP just by nearly purely YOLOing the entire thing. Close it, as you can see, a little bit by behind. And yeah, shoot the politician again. Try to get a headshot, and I failed miserably. And yeah, with 24 HP, I wouldn't recommend to use the YOLO jump, because... yeah, you see why. So you need to have at least like 40 HP. That's recommended. So yeah, just for relaxation. We're closing in, basically. Now we're at mission number 18. So here, you can jump over that car just by mashing space. You can't talk to Ralph yet, that's kind of weird, as you can see. He doesn't trigger. Now he triggers, and you can go directly to Vinny. You don't have to go with Ralphie for him to show you how to unlock the Lasseter V16 4-door. We will see later.
Hey, boy, so what'll it be?
Get Tom here a bat and a gun, and get us 2 Thompsons.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. Looks pretty good. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Vincenzo.
So yeah,
Yeah,
baseball
okay.
bat and a
Do that.
Colt 1911.
Thanks, Ralphie.
You see a pattern. So yeah, now we're just taking the Lasseter V16. We have to unlock it. As you can see, it's gonna take a while for us to unlock it, but we need a 4-seater in this mission. And the fastest 4-seater is the V16 4-door. So start it up. You can wait for everybody to get in, but as you can see, Sam is incapable of getting in because he's pretty much stuck somewhere. Let's see where he is. Well, he's climbing over cars, so what is he doing? Well, he's glitching. And there we go. And now let's go to the works quarter. Really similar route, just like in Fairplay. You need to pay a little bit of attention to cops after you turned into that road on the right. Because when you're at the hideout, let's call it a hideout, and you wait to get rid of the cops, basically, not even incognito mode is enough, then they will tell you, oh, you gotta lose the cops, shake off the cops, you gotta lose the cops, and that's going on for like 40 seconds with Paulie and Sam alternating their catchphrases. So yeah, you don't want to have cops on your ass. Speed limiter is a good method to not trigger any cops. So yeah, just get to that destination, get out of the car, and you have to see that this is perfect. Do not right away enter the car. I did it here. But it can happen that you actually die then. So I saw Artstar having that problem. You don't want to do that, trust me. So yeah, just go to the harbor. It's obviously going to be a great mission with carrying boxes from A to B. So I recommend to already get hyped. If you trigger the cops, it's not a problem, because the game will be saved as soon as you get near to the harbor, and you can reload the game in case you get chased by cops. Pretty much the same trick we used in Omerta with Idiot Joe. As you can see, we just drive there, and then the game was saved. So in case the cops would be still following you, reload here. What do you want to do here is block the street, as you can see, the lane towards the hideout, basically. So I'm waiting a little bit. I don't want to block other cars because it will get messy. That's alright. Just block the road like that. Step out of the car and wait for the truck. And look at that lovely font on Port of Lost Heaven. And there's a guy walking on the road casually. And there's the truck. Do not go too close to the harbor because you can fail the mission. That is a good position. Now drag him out of the car, of the truck, prepare the baseball bat, and smash him from behind as soon as he stands up to get the papers. You can shoot him if he runs away. And now you just have to drag the boxes. So right click, get a box, and press H to, you know, drop them again. But you could be putting them back on the truck, so you have to keep in mind that you have to watch where you actually leave those boxes. And by accident I pressed get in front instead of pick up a box. It really is easy to do that mistake. So yeah, it's pretty much similar to the car bonus game in Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter Third Strike. You have to go from the left to the right, from the left to the right to smack it. And as you can see, a car is blocking me. I can't get that other box, so I'm just going to climb on the red Crusader Chromium. I can't even get into the truck right. But still I'm gonna climb on the car's roof, get the last box, smack it on the car, and go around the truck to re-enter the driver's side. And now we're going straight to the straight to the port, to the harbor.
Stop right there. Show me your license. All right, you can go.
And there we go. We're at the harbor part. So of course we're not going to use the intended way with dragging other boxes from A to B and C to D, whatever. We're just gonna do a U-turn here. Park in the opposite way. Get very, very close here to that wall, because you need to position those crates from above. Get out of the truck, go upstairs, then there will be a cutscene. As you can see, those are the boxes we want to take. So what are we actually going to do? We just take a crate, get near to that guy, and as soon as he turns over, just drop it with H. Then you get into that cutscene. If you would have still have that box in your hand, you get scolded. I knew there was something wrong, and he starts shooting. I think you even get a mission failed for that. But yeah, just put them on the truck with right mouse button. I think you can use H as well, but it never worked for me. I just dropped those things, so just press the right mouse button. There's no real method to do that. You should be able to do that in time before he comes back. You see, even I had some problems here putting that box on the truck. And you have those difficult decisions. Pick a box, or pick up a box. Really difficult questions. And you have to pick up them all. You can't really just pick up, I don't know, 6 and go to Paulie and tell him there were no other, because they obviously know how many crates you have to pick up. Still 2 crates left. And by the way, there is a great part of box carrying in Mafia 2 as well, and the second chapter. But yeah, now you see the guy is far away. Get into the bolt truck, start up the engine, and you're gone. There's pretty much nothing you have to do anymore. And that clearly wasn't the intended way, but it's fast. And now comes the chase part. If they pop a tire, reload. Having a pop tire with the truck is horrible. So what we want to do is get rid of the gangsters, but that's easier said than done. I'm just going to try and use this route. It's using a shortcut to get to the hideout, and this tram is a fixed spawn. You will always have that tram here. You don't want to trigger the cops though, which is kind of paradox or contradiction, if you ask me, since you're getting chased by gangsters and still want to pay attention to the cops. But that's what I would do, especially by using that truck. Okay, so there we are, next to the hideout. And beware of officers as well, obviously. Go around here. Step out to talk with Paulie and Sam.
So I'm here and we don't even need to spin the trap.
If there are any gangsters, just shoot them. Go ahead and shoot them. But as you can see, there are no gangsters for me left. And when you shoot the gangsters, you have to pay attention. They do have pump guns and Tommy guns. So use the rapid fire glitch with the Colt 1911. Or get the pump gun, which is at the hideout. Pretty much where you parked in the first place, where you left Sam. So yeah, now we're just driving to Salieri's warehouse. So that means we want to go to Chinatown and take the Terranova Bridge. So that's quite a long session right now. And the game can crash every single time, especially with cops here, so there might be a game crash. Nothing you can do against that.
Today was just great. While you two messed around, I carried at least a ton of crates surrounded by guys with guns.
Somebody had to do it, and you're the youngest. Tim always has the bright ideas.
He will continue talking as soon as I lose the cops.
Oh, so it's
There we go.
Sam. Next time, you can unload the truck. I ain't touching another crate.
Well, we'll see about that.
So as you see, Chinatown route. It is the fastest route to get to the warehouse. There would be a possibility using Tunnel Giuliano Bridge, but it is a little bit slower, especially with the truck. And there is a cop car, so you know what to do. And when we're about 3 car lengths, 3.5 right now, we can deactivate the speed limiter and just go ahead. Use the reverse camera, although as you can see, my camera setting right now is pretty awkward. I don't really see anything. I don't know where I'm actually going. So I have to look in front from time to time. You can change the camera with C by default. There we go. I changed the camera as well, so I have a way better look out, as you can see. Now I know where I'm actually going. But if you use a reverse camera, you still have the standard camera. Nothing you can do there. So yeah, just go down. Now police doesn't even matter, because you should be able to make the police crash somewhere, for example against a train, or tram. I think tram is the correct term in that case. And the mission will trigger anyways. You just go near the warehouse and it should trigger. It can crash though. So yeah, there we go. Now you can just mash. The bolt thrower is irrelevant. And now it is finally time to announce the best part in the run, which obviously is, you might have guessed, yes, the train part. We'll join Paulie on a 4-minute train part to the bank. It would be way faster just stealing a car and getting to the bank, but no, we gotta see the feature that the developers have put into this game. So yeah. Now we just stroll a little bit, getting to the station. So yeah, just go up the station. If there are any pedestrians near Polly, try to punch them, because Polly will get on the tracks very easy. Oh, and there is a threat. So, punch her. And hopefully she will lie on the floor and not go near the tracks and lie on there. Because you can see, Polly just goes exactly where he should be going, and he sees that obstacle and gets distracted a little bit. And the train is approaching. And as soon as the train stops and the door opens, Polly gets inside, and we of course too. So yeah guys, enjoy this train ride. Definitely a great pleasure every time.
So how's everything going?
Aside from the last few jobs, pretty boring. Of course, my kid keeps things interesting.
You know, I actually envy you. You gotta find a date and start making babies. When I look at my life, I don't seem to be doing much. Hang out, go to parties. I'm getting pretty bored with it. Problem is, I don't know how to do anything else.
I think most people would like to change.
Everybody imagines the adventures and though they see in movies. It's not about the boring deal making. Always have to negotiate deals with people. They can't make notes of anything because of the cops. So I have to remember all of it. I ain't 20 no more, and I'm starting to forget. Sometimes I don't know who promised me what or who I let what, and as a result, someone always messes with me, and I lose out on the dough. It just pisses me off.
Well, we still have the excitement.
Oh, that's the worst. Nothing happens for 6 months. You start to get lazy, and suddenly, boom, some action. Don't think I ain't worried something might happen to us.
So what are we supposed to do?
This will be our last big job. It'll be enough to get me a pizzeria someplace. You know, something.
Oh, really?
Wait a minute.
So yeah, we enjoyed this discussion. There is one point that I have to tell you, that if you talk with Paulie too late, he can be stuck in the train forever. So that's always a pleasure. And of course, if there are pedestrians blocking the way for Paulie, he can actually fall down the tracks and die because the train wrecks him. Happened to runners as well. So yeah, this part is just too glorious. Skips are impossible to find here because there is a security check for each station you'll pass, and you always have to be near Paulie and all that stuff. So yeah, you pretty much have to use the train, unfortunately. That's how it is. Oh, you see those two guys down there? You can enjoy the detail, the panorama over the city. So this is the second to last station, Newark. We will get out on downtown, next to the bank pretty much. And then we'll check the bank and see what we're gonna do. And of course, Paulie is a pro in preparing bank heists, so in case you played other games, like for example GTA 5, you don't need any Lester and co. to develop strategies for heists. We have Paulie. Paulie is the mastermind after all, as he has proven throughout the run so many times. So we won't need to worry. Paulie always knows the right thing to do. And to be honest, where is it actually better to talk about a plan how to rob a bank than inside of the bank you want to rob? Genius. And just stick to the same clothes you're wearing all the time. Perfect. 10 out of 10, or even 12 out of 10 bank heist. So yeah, let's get out of the train. And of course you have to keep in mind that Pedestrians could block Paulie eventually. Like for example this guy who doesn't know where to go, he will just go back and forth. There we go. And now we're going downstairs. There you go. Now you see how NPCs have an impact on Paulie. You can try to jump on his back, try to deflect, doing some sort of little Goomba strats. So, yeah. We're just waiting and waiting for Paulie at the bank. You see another train approaching. Ain't too big, ain't too small. Let's take a look inside.
Ain't too big, ain't too small. Let's take a look inside. Good day. Good day.
And you gotta ask at the counter. So you just position yourself here and wait for Paulie to arrive to enlighten you with his glorious plan.
Okay. We'll start here in the hall. We'll run in here and shout that it's a raid. Those two guards will probably just give up. If they want to play heroes, liquidate them. As soon as they're out of the way, we gotta get the keys to the safe. We'll have to find out where they are from the clerks. I think they'll talk for guns at their heads. You go through that door, behind the counter, after you get the key. The door leads to a corridor. On the right is a staircase down to the safe. And upstairs to the office. If you have the keys, go straight to the safe. Otherwise, you'd have to get them somewhere upstairs. Downstairs, there will probably be more security guards. You'll have to deal with them alone while they keep everything in check upstairs. Downstairs, there's a large safe which you gotta unlock. Then you just gotta get the dough and get out. That's everything.
Okay.
Let's go. You better get out of here.
And now you just exit the bank and wait for Paulie. You can always look out for dog faces in the meantime, because there is an Easter egg in the game. There is one NPC in the game that is just actually having a dog face, or a dog hat to be more precise. If you find it, please send me a screenshot or even a video. Would be cool.
It's connected to the home security system.
Unfortunately, I haven't seen it yet.
Can't get here for 5 minutes. That means we'll have 5 minutes from the time we get in to do everything and then disappear. Gonna need some wheels. It's stupid to get a car from Ralphie, because he'll tell Salieri. You'll have to get a good fast set of wheels, Tommy. For you, that shouldn't be a problem.
No, it shouldn't. I think Lucas would know something.
Okay, try to get something fast. We'll need it. And guess they won't just let us leave. Even if we get out of the bank in time, we could still meet the cops in the city.
And how do you want to deal with them?
I head to an abandoned joint right in Hoboken. It has Palmero Club written on the wall.
Great.
There's still a little problem with guns. I have my own stuff, but you don't. We'll need to get some kind of heater. I think I know a place where you can pick one up.
Where's that?
It's pretty far. It's probably best to go by train. Get on here and then go to Hoboken. Get off at the Central Hoboken station and go in the direction from which you came by the train to the nearest crossroads. Under the elevated railway, there's a road. Follow that and turn left at the next road. You'll see an old movie house called the Twister. At the side entrance, you'll find Yellow Pete's shop. Tell him I sent you. He should have something.
I'll do that now. I'll get some weapons, then the car, then I'll stop by your place.
Yeah, pull in front of the building and honk your horn. The janitor's always locking the door. I'll come down and we'll go. I'll see you later.
Alright, so we're finally done. Now you just run towards this direction I'm actually facing right now. It's towards Hoboken. Then there'll be a loading screen and you have to get a car. A fast one, preferably. So I'm just looking around. There's a Crusader, there's an Ulva we can't unlock, there's a Silver Fletcher, a Trautenberg, a Celeste. Oh, there we go. There is a Lasseter V16 Photo, the fastest car we can actually get. Of course, you have to know how to unlock it. Otherwise it won't work, and you have to pay attention to how much gas or fuel is left in the tank. As you can see, we have around about a quarter here, which is enough. But if you're already driving on the red line or red light, pretty much on reserve, then just take another car, because you won't make it. And here, just drift. That was actually a horrible drift. So it should have been looking like this. I just corrected. Nobody has seen anything, right? So yeah, just get out of the car and knock the door, get back to the car, start the engine, and get out as soon as you hear the engine start. There we go. You don't want to wait until the engine is completely started. Go back to the door. And so you actually started the engine in the meantime, which is always a nice little time save. A small detail. Not too much, but still. Better save that time. And there we go. Now we meet Yellow Pete.
Okay. Son, what brings you here?
Paulie sent me. We need some weapons.
Right. Paulie. Yeah, I know him. At least I think I know him. That short, moody guy, right?
You could say that.
Still working for Salieri?
Yeah.
Well, give that old Goomba my regards.
So you wanna pick the Thompson, obviously. You can go for the Colt and the baseball bat if you wanna go pro strats. That means Vincenzo %. But yeah, just pick the Thompson or the pump gun if you like it. But I would recommend the Thompson. It's just the best weapon in the game. Fast, and you can just spray around. You don't have to be too precise. So now you don't really want to get the cops attractions. That means you don't really want to trigger the police cars. If you have police cars on your ass and a wanted, then this mission is gonna be horrible. Then you will get the gun eventually and you're completely wasted. If you're getting chased by cop cars, try to kill them on the Giuliano Bridge because there's no cops nearby, or in the tunnel. That's basically my bet for that. If you just drag them around for too long, you'll get the wanted, and that's gonna end horribly. Just my experience. You will end up losing, I think, 9 minutes, or no, 7.5 minutes if you have to redo this part again. That means getting a car, getting to Yellow Pete, picking up Paulie again, getting to the bank, so that's around 7.5 minutes. I wouldn't recommend to do that. And it happened to every one of us. It literally happens to every speedrunner. And of course, if you drive over, for example, a garbage can, it triggers the cops as well, so you really have to pay attention where you're actually driving. So I'm sticking to 40 miles, as you can see, even with the speed limiter, just to be 100% safe. And then yeah, if you're near the door right now where there are little stairs like a veranda, or I'm not sure about the English word, just use the horn and wait for Paulie to come out. You can use this brake to just take a breath, wait a little bit, think about the glorious train pod again. Good old times. Because the last bit of the game isn't really difficult, you made it. When you're at the bank, you're pretty much done. Last mission is, I wouldn't say it's a freebie, but it's really close to that.
So what? Everything's in order? Got everything you need?
Yeah.
It is not as easy as Happy Birthday, but close.
But his stuff's good.
Why they call him yellow?
You see his teeth? They're the yellowest in town. And they also stink the most.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, just drive down, full throttle. Do not trigger cops, as I said before. And of course you're heading back to the bank, which is kind of obvious. reverse camera to not trigger any cops. And here you have to pay attention to to officers as well. So when you're near the bank, just brake down. Do a little 180 turn. There we go. Get out of the car. And as soon as you click the door, the mission starts. So what is my recommendation? Take the Thompson and shoot that guard you can see. Then duck and wait for the guard to come from the left. Go a little bit to the front. So you're pretty much on height on the right door. You can see a door on the right, a door ahead of you. And as soon as you see the guard, just snipe him. Then turn around and snipe the other guard. And there we go. Otherwise, Paulie can die. Or if you just get outside of the room, Paulie can be stuck in the bank. It's a bug that is commonly known, so don't do that. Yeah, here we have to snipe some more cops or guards. Take that key. After the key you picked up down at the first floor. Here at manager's office, and then yeah, just go down to the safe. You can be sniped down from the guys on the right. But if you're having 100 HP, you don't have to worry about that. And here, worry about cops coming out of nowhere. That can happen. There we go. You saw that guy. And then there's the other one. If you killed him, you know you're done. There are no more guards in this bank. So at this point, you're pretty much done with Moonlighting. The worst part is already done, which is, as I said, getting the cops when you're trying to bring Paulie to the bank. Losing 7.5 minutes if it fails. So yeah, just take this route this time and go straight to the car and enter the car. Paulie should be joining you. And yeah, and just drive outside. Well, towards Hoboken, obviously, because we want to get to the top Palermo Club. The abandoned joint that Paulie was talking about. If you have any super cops right now, it is smarter to reload than to lose them, because they will follow you this shortcut. And we have to pick that shortcut. The Leicester is quite heavy, so you can drive a little bit faster than with normal cars. So yeah, now you just turn left at the blue gate, get into this garage, or whatever this is, get out the car. Now you see the incognito symbol. If you actually have active or shaded handcuffs or a gun, and you start talking to Paulie, you can be arrested in the cutscene. Something you have to keep in mind. So you really don't want to have cops here. Especially not an active wanted symbol.
Just don't run off with it.
Sure, I'll take off to Hawaii.
Don't try it. I'd find you and stuff that metal-plated briefcase down your throat.
I'm looking forward to it.
So yeah, now the last mission, Hype, Death of Art. Just go out and pick the police car. Why to pick the police car is because the usual speed limit for a police car is not 40 miles an hour. As for all the other cars, you can drive 70 miles an hour without police spotting you. If you're running a red light, those guys will still spot you, which is kind of weird. I think if an officer won't spot you, but a cop car, I'm not too sure though. Haven't had the problem with red lights. But yeah, as I said, 70 miles an hour standard speed is pretty nice to have. So yeah, now we just go down the tunnel, and pretty much the route you know from Little Tony. Little Tony was near the gallery, and now we're heading to the gallery. If you get the cops chasing you, it can end very badly. So try to stick to the 70 miles an hour. And always check if there's no cops nearby. So yeah, use reverse camera for example. This is a neat little straight road. So you can just accelerate and nobody will spot you. So yeah, now just take the route to the left. As you can see, there was a cop. I was driving 50 miles an hour and he didn't spot me because, as I said, a higher standard speed. And now just park, for example, in the middle pair of doors. Get out and trigger the gallery. So here at the gallery, just hide the gun, climb over that stair guarding rail, go down the stairs to trigger the grenade that's gonna fall off the stairs to kill all those guys, pick up the Thompson, shoot that one guy, and pretty much go upstairs. But there could be a cutscene trigger troll. Here has to trigger a cutscene, it didn't happen, so you have to reload and redo this part. Don't worry about the time gets subtracted in the process of verification on speedrun.com, so just keep on doing if you're timing in-game time. It still belongs to the real time though. So yeah, pick the Thompson, shoot that guy, now I'm just going around, hopefully to trigger the cutscene trigger, and it worked out. So maybe that is a solution, who knows. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, shoot that guy, you can see reload, because with 7 or 3 you can't do anything. Then this guy on the left, snipe him, go to the next room, kill those 2 guys on the left, jump to avoid the pump gun shots, and get into this room, just go straight on. As you can see, it isn't that difficult, but it's difficult using casual strats, let's be honest. Okay, there's this guy with a sword golf, just kill him. And there's another guy waiting for you, kill you. Now jump again to avoid some bullets. I got hit severely. Now in the next room there's another guy, so crouch, and there you go. Kill him. Jump again. Reload if you have a low ammunition count. Then just point the gun a little bit, because it works for me. And then shoot this guy. And in case you need a health pack, just wait a little second and then pick up the medikit, because there's a grenade falling down. In a cutscene you're invincible, but if you picked up the medikit and you get the grenade, you're dead. So wait a second before picking up the medikit. Shooting this guy upstairs and then just go to the final showdown. Trigger it here and let's go. Just shoot him, like I said, crouching and pointing. Do not spray because you will lose too much ammunition. Just point on his head. Shoot him a couple of times, like 30 times. Reload. And crouch here again. And snipe him. And that's it. GG. Congrats, you've passed or completed a Mafia any % speedrun when you see that cutscene. Time's up. So yeah, this is the final cutscene. That's it. There's nothing more left in the speedrun. As you can see, Mafia isn't too difficult of a game. It is not the easiest speedruns. You have to know a certain trick here and there to pass it with ease. If you do it blindly or with casual strats, you will struggle. For example, at the missions like the Whore, the Priest, the last mission. Better get used to it. There are really difficult missions here and there, so you really have to either up your game or use speedrun strats, because they make life very easy. So yeah, there's not a lot left to say, unless 1 or 2 things. If you have any question towards any strat or anything that I might have missed in this tutorial run, post it in the comments and I will greatly answer your questions. If you're interested in speedrunning Mafia, you can get in touch with me. For example, whisper me on Twitch. My Twitch name is Lembox. So I will invite you to the Mafia Speedruns Discord server. We can talk about certain strats where you still struggle. Or we can do a race then, speedrunning race. Everybody does the speedrun. We'll talk with each other. It's always nicer than just to grind attempts for yourselves.
They'll get you all the same. Like Frank.
They found him?
You only
And this classic cutscene, obviously.
But in the end, they found him. All the same. And Frank was the Don's only real friend. Friendship
ain't worth shit.
Oh.
The outro is a classic scene. I believe every one of you guys knows this already. So yeah, there is nothing I can spoil here. But I'm still skipping the epilogue. So yeah, guys, everything I could have shown you was in this tutorial run. I hope it was a help for you guys. If you still have questions, ask them in the comments. And yeah, thanks guys for watching, and see you next time, maybe at a stream on Twitch or with a new run here on YouTube. Cheers, guys.